Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the second discussion in this three-part discussion about Arcane. We're up to Act 2, which is episodes 4 to 6. Kyle Entertainment is watching for the first time ever, and I have seen it before. I watched it once when it came out, and here we are. So Kyle, introduce yourself or say something.
Now, this show did come out in 2021, right?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, I almost know for certain that's true. Because I just figured it out, you know?
Mhm.
That's like a long time ago, EliteAri.
Yeah, it's like,
That's 3 years ago.
3. Oh my god. Is that what you
I'm
wanted
gonna
to say?
kill myself.
Okay.
It was either that or I actually committed to singing the song, and then I was like, oh no.
So you're just worried about the passage of time, is what you're saying. Just like between arcs, there was that 7-year time skip. Did that freak you out as well?
Was it 7 years?
No, I don't know. When I looked it up,
years.
people are like, "Oh, it's like 6 or 7 years," and I'm like, "Okay, whatever. We'll go with that."
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, we're beginning this video because some piece of shit. You ever heard of this fella, Miller the Killer? The audience might not have, but we have EliteAri.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of him?
I have, yes. I'm a big fan of him. Sometimes
he spoiled what you thought about the rest of the show, and when he said it, I was like,
Did he?
yeah, that is what EliteAri thinks. He's such a loser bitch, unless your mind changed on your shitty rewatch you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, because last time we were speculating, audience, we were like, one of these idiots probably said that Arcane was great, but, you know, it just didn't connect with them. That must have been Jockey Bacon. But then Bacon said something in the Discord that sounded like he hadn't seen the show or something. Has Bacon seen the show? Do you know this, EliteAri?
Bacon has seen Arcane. Yeah, he talked about it in his podcast.
He definitely said that one.
Yeah, in 2021.
Yeah. Bacon just loves everything about it, but he hates it because nothing stood out to him or something, you know.
Interesting.
Ever heard him talk about Berserk or anything good? That's what he says.
Right. Interesting. Well, I guess, you know what? We'll reveal what he thinks at the end of episode 9, I guess, but yeah.
Oh, no. Does that mean we're inviting Jockey Bacon?
No, but Bacon is not joining us, all right? It's just us two for
Bacon
now.
was mad we didn't invite him, though. What an idiot. Anyway.
True.
Besides that, we're getting to EliteAri's opinions. EliteAri's opinion is that the third episode is great, and then there's like a big fall off, and I do remember him saying that.
Yeah, okay. Should I give my
okay, so say EliteAri?
Generally my typical thing I'll say about Arcane, whenever anyone brings it up, they're like, "Oh, Arcane" or whatever. I'm like, "Damn, that was a terrible show, wasn't it?" That's generally what I'll say. However, if I'm being honest or whatever, I'm actually like thinking or whatever, I love the first 3 episodes. And when I say I love the first 3 episodes, I love the 3rd episode, and the first 2 are okay. But I've enjoyed them a lot more when I rewatch them. So now, going forward, I'd say those first 3 episodes were fantastic. However, my first watch through, I think, it's also, I can't say everything yet, because we need to see where the whole show goes directly, right to the end. But I thought it was, all the rest of this story was completely unnecessary. I found no value in it. I was incredibly bored. There's 2 big things. Like, one is it's boring, which I think we'll talk about a little bit. It's also incredibly cringe, and that's the harder thing to explain. Yeah, and not much has changed in this rewatch. The only thing that's really changed to me is that there was one element, which to me, the very predictable element of like what's going to happen. As soon as I finished episode 3, I pretty much knew exactly where the rest of the show is going. And that's kind of why it felt kind of unnecessary to see the rest of it. Because it felt like you can't possibly top what happened in episode 3. And here we are just seeing the worst version of what I imagined was already going to happen. And it's kind of like, man, this is the best you could do with the story that I already built up in my mind, you know? But anyway, that was the first thing, predictable. On a second watch, obviously, I already know what's going to happen, so the predictable element isn't much of an issue. So that one's gone away more, but it's still incredibly boring and cringe. So yeah, that's what I think. And I guess more specifically, I guess, I truly did not care at all for Jinx or Vi as characters, and I don't care, and I'm not invested in their relationship whatsoever. So yeah, and obviously that's what the point of the rest of the episodes after episode 3 are about. So I had a lot of issues with that. What else? Let me think. Yeah, I guess another thing to say is that just to prove how much I didn't like it, I didn't even watch the Blind Wave reaction videos. I watched the first 3, and then I got to the next one. I'm like, I can't stomach them just praising the show. I'm like, I can't watch this of them just swaying out about how great it is or anything. So I didn't even watch it. But anyway, that's what I thought about Arcane. What do you say to that?
What do you think I think about these 3 episodes?
I don't. Okay, so there's 2 things. One is that I can imagine you liking the Vine Caitlyn stuff potentially, However, I could also see you completely agreeing with me because it is incredibly generic, and I don't think anything particularly interesting whatsoever happens. So what do you think, Kyle? What do you actually think?
Oh, I got a soliloquy I've been playing in my head for the last 2 minutes.
Oh boy,
I
okay.
feel like there was once a time, a masterful time, where me and EliteAri agreed on 99% of things almost.
Mm-hmm.
All of our previous watch throughs before Mushoku Tensei, we even thought we were going to have a disagreement about Chainsaw Man, but EliteAri was just being stupid for like 5 minutes. But Black Sails, all the Attack on Titan shit, we all like the same stuff. I used to argue with Minty and Miller, and EliteAri used to be my safeguard of like, oh, EliteAri's got a smart opinion. He's going to agree with me. Because that's what a smart opinion is, obviously. And now we've just separated EliteAri because these 3 episodes are pretty fucking good.
Oh my god.
And I liked them a lot and
Jesus.
didn't think it was generic at all.
Oh,
And
this is insane.
I love Jinx. She's like fucking sick. And I even liked Vi now. The Vi Caitlyn stuff is okay. Jinx is the best character in this show. She's great.
Jesus.
I like her a lot.
Okay.
She's got long hair. It's sick. And
Oh
I'm
my
like, that's what
God.
EliteAri thinks is cringe now, huh? And yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, this is a big surprise. I didn't expect you to actually like everything.
I think you should have known for like did I watch all 3 episodes today? No, I watched 1 last night.
Oh yeah, true.
But then I watched 2 episodes today. You should have known. Because those first 3 episodes, oh my god, they were boring as fuck. These 3, they went by in a breeze. But anyway.
All right, well, that's exciting.
I think I have
we'll have a lot to disagree on then, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a diagnosis as to why. And it's not that dramatic and it's lame.
Mm-hmm.
But I think these episodes just have a plot. And those first 2 episodes didn't and were boring and terrible. And episode 3 was okay. But I don't know, it was kind of boring and fucking Vander sucks and et cetera, and Vi used to suck.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, I guess
Vi's character didn't change nearly at all, but
Sure.
I feel like her as like a 20-year-old works better than her as like a 15-year-old for whatever reason.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to say...
He still sucks, though. We hate him.
Okay, that's interesting as well. I like those first 3 episodes because it told a very simple story, a very generic story, but I think it did it very well, and it captured my emotions.
Say the Last of Us line, EliteAri. Say the Last of Us line.
I love The Last of Us. It was a nice story about revenge or whatever, right? Which line?
No, that's the second one. You're supposed to say The Last of Us is a simple story told perfectly.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's just like Arcane. But yeah, these later episodes, to me, it's like... It is like too much plot, I think. Like, it's just... There's so many different cuts between different storylines that just, to me, feel completely unnatural. And it's like we're just being jarred around to whatever's like currently gonna progress the plot forward. And I don't know, there's entire storylines I don't like. For instance, the Caitlyn Vi stuff is incredibly boring to me. I think that probably has more to do with my investment in Vi as a character. But yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Interesting.
What do you think about? Do you like? Okay, let me just say my opinion. I didn't like episode 4.
It immediately?
No, I didn't like episode 4 whatsoever. I think 5 and 6 are good. Like, they're not good. I'd say they're passable. Like, they're okay. I enjoyed watching it, like, decently. I'd give it, if this was like Media Digest, I'd be like, yeah, it's like a 3, maybe a 2, but probably a 3 for those last 2. To me, it started immediately when you start episode 4, and it opens with, I think it's Heimerdinger and Jace, and they're just like talking about the progress that's been made. And it's like, it's so uninteresting. I'm like, okay, we went from this big, massive, like, climactic end to episode 3 to now we're following the less interesting storyline from the first part, the least interesting character in Heimerdinger, who I never liked at all. And it's like a very generic speech of like, I don't care about this. Like, yeah, they're making progress. That's crazy. Why are we opening on this? And then they have the shot outside the city where it's like, oh my God, there's blimps outside. Isn't that crazy? And I'm like, did they have blimps before? Like, this doesn't look that weird.
But I did think about that for a second.
Yeah, and then they show the teleport thing, and I'm like, okay, at least there's like something interesting. But anyway, episode 4 was a rough start. But yeah.
Well, EliteAri, you moron, you're very inexperienced, obviously, with the classic time skip and how it's fucking sick every time, and you always start with the most boring element to establish that the time skip has happened, so you can be like, oh my God, when am I going to see Jinx? And then they save the Vi reveal for the end of the episode, so you can come into the next episode wanting to know what happened with her post time skip. You know, It's just a genius, EliteAri. Time skips are always great. And that was and I was trying to figure out if a time skip had happened because last time I had said it was going to happen, and you were like, "Oh, being a little bitch about it, trying
Right.
to lead me astray." And I was like, "Oh, is that cool Jinx I saw on the poster for one of the Netflix things? Isn't it crazy how Netflix changes the poster sometimes or the thumbnail?
Yeah,
It's kind of
algorithms.
crazy." But yeah, it's fucking. That'll get you to watch some stuff later. You got to watch out.
Mm.
But and then I was like, oh, when they had the teleporter thing, because this Jace Moran has like stubble, but you can't tell if he's actually older. And this
Yeah.
little midget furry thing,
He's
you
immortal.
can't tell either. So, yeah, not for long. Not when I'm through with him. Ha ha ha.
True.
We still don't like him. But
Okay.
oh, and then EliteAri, my prediction was all I was freaking out. I thought it was true because some masked people show up and attack something. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be Jinx is gonna take off a thing and it's gonna be masked. But it was no, she was underneath. We did do the
Yes.
dramatic reveal, obviously, but that was some other guys that the mystery lingers until I still don't know.
Yeah,
Though I'm pretty
true.
sure I figured out who these fucking stupid mask idiots are. There's only one character
Highlights.
that hasn't come back so far, so
True, Vander. All right, so
no.
okay, let's. I do you want to go through your predictions because I have them all written down, Kyle. If you want to see what you actually got right and
Well, I
wrong.
did listen to them, but I already forgot. So you
All
can
right.
say them again, and I'm going to twist them all into being right.
Yes, yes. So the next
Like I'm giving
episode,
myself points for the Jinx thing, by the way.
I think there's a lot of points here to be made. All right, which just shows how generic the show is. So the next episode will open with Jinx and crew being on a mission, and we're not going to know who she is until she takes the mask off. So that's like you got the mask thing wrong, but you got they were on a mission. You know, in the it was like the second scene of the episode. I'd give you that one.
Yep.
Partially, you know.
I'm a genius.
Then you said either Vi becomes an enforcer, but probably not. So probably, I don't know. I don't think you got that at all.
Oh, she went off with the enforcer guy.
Damn, that's crazy. When half the characters are enforcers and they go off with them, that's wild. I'm not going to count that one, Kyle. Right? You didn't get it. Vi and Powder will be separated. I think you. I think you got that one. Jinx is going to be edgy for a while. Now, this is. What do you think? Do you think she's edgy? Is that how you would describe her?
Oh, she's the coolest of all time.
But is it cool because she's edgy?
Yeah, she's kind of edgy. She's gone fucking insane and killing people.
All right, I would probably agree. Okay. Okay, that's one. She becomes Silker's favorite, and all the other guys will complain that she's the favorite. It was like there was a direct scene about that. Yeah. She's gonna find out that he killed Vander, and it would be cool if she doesn't care because she was 8. She hasn't addressed that at all in this yet.
No, that's coming soon.
Jinx and Vi will fight in episode 6 and episode 9. So no, they didn't fight.
Well, they did a reunion thing. It's basically the same.
It's like the opposite of a fight. Yeah.
But they did get separated again, and they will not meet again till episode 9. You know, just a genius.
Right.
They're probably not.
And you said they're going to be on the same... well, that you said it'll be cool if they're on the same side, and at the end they turn on Silco, and he's the bad guy or something. I don't know if I will see
I
how
definitely
that goes.
didn't say that would be cool.
Oh, you said something. I don't know. It's a prediction, but it's a weird prediction to make, I guess.
They did fight together for like 3 seconds.
True, they did, yeah. And then the last one...
I'm giving myself points for that one.
Either Jace or Victor will become bureaucrats, and then we'll beat them up, or they'll join our side and we'll team up against a greater evil. You kind of got that, I guess. I mean, Jace is a bureaucrat. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, predictions.
I can't tell at this point if he's going to be the big bad guy in the end.
Mm-hmm. Wait, who? Silco or
Probably not. Jace.
Right. Jesus.
Did I see something about a season 2 for this shit recently?
Yes, season 2 got announced. Yep. End of this year.
Recently, or like after the fucking thing ended because it was
no, it got announced very recently, like maybe a month ago or something. I think.
Lame.
Yep.
Maybe he'll be the season 2 villain then.
Perhaps, yes. Development. Imagine if you knew the League of Legends lore and it was like you could make predictions based on that, which I certainly can't either.
No, that would be uncool.
Yep. Anyway, should we go right into the episodes? What do you have?
I guess I'm just so smart. Admit that I'm smart.
I think you did a good job predicting a very predictable series, which is the reason why I don't like the show.
You know, because EliteAri thinks it's predictable now, so he gets to hand wave it like I didn't just call his favorite shit out.
True. It's funny because you saying it was generic is why you criticized the first act, and now me calling it generic is why I criticize the rest of the show. You know, so it's kind of a bit of an inversion there. Yeah. Kind of like the shimmer and the gemstone. Oh my god, they're like opposites. That's crazy. All right, episode 4, Happy Progress Day.
Yeah.
So we got the first scene I mentioned. So Heimerdinger and Jace, they're talking about...
Oh my god, another prediction that I got right, EliteAri, that's in the second episode, but when they played the actual song, but they didn't play the rap part and still, and
oh, yes.
Later, but,
Because I truly, when that song played, I guess I just want to say it now before I forget. I was on the edge of my seat because I had no idea that it was played at that point, and I'm like, oh my god, is the rap gonna happen? And I don't know, there was a guy rapping, but I'm like, I don't know if this is the
Oh,
point like Kyle's talking about, or is like
no.
another rap. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, and it was so soy. They had an actual band just singing the words. That's the
It's
worst. The rest of
yeah,
the
it
thing was pretty
was
good
that
though.
was just and it's meant to be the band, right? Like that's meant to be Imagine Dragons, I assume. Wait, not Imagine Dragons. Whoever the band
Maybe.
is it? I don't know what they're
No,
called.
it is Imagine Dragons. You're so smart,
Oh yeah,
EliteAri.
thank you, thank you.
Um,
Um, oh, I hate that.
but I don't think they look like that. They had like tattoos like they were in the underground.
It has to
Yeah.
be them. If they're making a show like this and they're incorporating a band that's singing a song, there is no question in my mind that they would model those
I'm
characters
pretty
after the
sure the
band.
main guy from Imagine Dragons looks like a very generic white dude with zero tattoos. And I'm pretty sure they all had
Well, they
tattoos,
dress them
though
up
I
to fit
haven't
the
seen a picture
Undercity.
of him. Yeah, okay.
All right, I'm
Maybe
like,
that's what.
it has to be. Anyway, Act 2. Heimerdinger and Jace, they're talking about Heimerdinger's friend Stanwyck Padidley, who was a failure of a scientist who is now a statue because although he was a failure, he realized that he couldn't accomplish anything that would compare to the accomplishments of his students. Isn't that crazy? I wonder if that like
Boy.
ties into the theme of this act or something. I don't know. It has to, right? Like, why else would they open on that? I guess like I don't know. We'll see.
Themes are lame. I'm not thinking about it.
Sure, we'll get to the themes later. So there was a 7-year time skip, approximately. Hex gates have changed the city. They brought people from around the world, and Jace has become famous and will give this year's Progress Day speech. Then we flash to Silco's men, who are bribing the custom officers of a ship, and they get into a fight and are quickly beaten by the Firelights. What do you think of the Firelights, Kyle? As a I don't know
I love
design,
the
I guess.
Fireflies. I love The Last of Us.
That's also what I thought
The
of.
masks they do. I don't know whether or not they were literally in Fortnite or they just look like a dude I saw in Fortnite ads. But
I don't know.
one of those things is true. I don't know. I was like, oh, this is probably like Vi's group, but it turns out she was in
Okay.
prison the whole time.
Sure.
That was my very initial thought when they showed up. I'll be like, oh, and then they even did the fake out where there was the pink-haired girl.
Yeah. Did you think that was actually Vi?
No, I don't think so. Don't
Nice.
they telegraph that it isn't? Fuck, I feel like I did have other thoughts, but they are escaping me now.
I think they're really cool when they flip around on the skateboard thing the first time you see them. Like the whole frame like flips not 360, whatever, like upside down. Like, oh, it's so cool visual stuff, you know. Do you still okay, actually I didn't ask about
vaguely
this.
remember that.
The overall thoughts, I guess. Do you still think it looks just like okay, or do you actually like the visual style now?
I don't know. I guess I feel the same.
That's wild.
Some of the
to me,
Jinx
Kyle.
freak out moments are kind of cool with the little like scribbling on it. That's okay.
True, I
That's
do
pretty
like that.
cool.
I think if there's one thing I cannot deny, which is that it's just visually, it's like a 10 out of 10, Kyle. It just looks so good. And even me in my hating mindset, I still love the way this show looks. All right. Silco, we read that. The Fireflies show up. Jinx sees a Firefly with pink hair. She thinks it's her sister and she freaks out. She starts shooting everyone, even her own crew. Even the big guy. Remember the big guy that was in last act and he came back and then and is in prison and he gets replaced by another big guy. Did you notice that? Silco has like another big guy that I assume is like his brother or something.
Second big guy.
No, he looks exactly like him, and I don't know, unless it is the same guy and they broke him out of jail or something, but I don't think so. Okay,
it's
Jason.
funny because that guy has such a distinct character design that you can like bank on the audience remembering him. So him ending up being a plot element later on, that was not. I guess that was cute.
Cool. I'm glad you can praise the show.
Also, you didn't do all the cool build up to Jinx's reveal and stuff.
Yeah, what did you think about that? In the smoke.
Should we talk about Jinx entirely right now?
Sure, let's do it. Let me
She's so
take
cool,
control here.
and wacky and crazy.
Yes, she's nothing like Powder.
her.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, Powder sucks. Oh, I was even thinking retroactively, she made that scene of Powder like really freaking out and crying that one time when she got left. Not thematically better, but it's just like, oh, she's just crazy. So obviously she did that. And she's not a cute little girl anymore. She's a crazy little girl. So that's cool.
So you think she's crazy?
Like, has visions. Yeah, she's like crazy, EliteAri, like real crazy.
Like psychotic, like mental illness crazy, or just
kind of.
Okay,
It's fun to watch. It's not cringe at all, EliteAri. I don't know why you're saying that.
No, I also, I mean, every now and then she'll go a little bit over the top. It's not her, it's the way it's directed. For instance, the first scene she has with Silco where she's like, she says something and then she like blows on the pipe or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so this is textbook how you create like a quirky character. And to me,
No, every
the
time I
directing
was like,
feels
ooh, so
transparent.
quirky. I loved it, EliteAri. It was great.
I also generally agree. I generally do like Jinx's performance in this and the
Oh, I
way.
wanted you to hate it.
No, my element of cringe is very. I said before it was difficult to describe. To me, it comes from the transparency of the directing. There's a lot of visual storytelling in Arcane, and a lot of it. There's like this common saying where it's like a picture tells like 1,000 words or whatever, and everyone talks about how like show don't tell, and like there are these things where people will praise these kind of not generic, these like storytelling concepts of like, yeah, like showing don't telling is like always better or whatever, and they see it in Arcane and they say, wow, this show is amazing because it shows and not tells. But if you're there's like the reason show don't tell works. I mean, it's not just as simple as like whenever you do show don't tell, it's always going to be great. There is like times it fails, which in my case, it's hard to describe. This is why I'm going to make a video about this one day. I feel like you do show don't tell because you want the audience to kind of get a reward of figuring out something by looking at the way you're visually telling it. Like you're not just spelling it out to them where it's like, oh, the show thinks I'm dumb. It's like really cool because it's like you can piece it together. It is kind of a subtlety thing. I think there's more to it than that, but generally, yeah, it's a bit of a subtlety thing. And the show does it so frequently and makes the visual storytelling so obvious, like the blood money last time and a few things that I've listed in all my notes, where it happens so frequently and it's so blatant that to me it's so cringeworthy because I'm like, oh my god, this is where a storyteller is like, we're gonna be so cool and we're gonna be, we're gonna like make this cool like visual storytelling thing. So that's my cringe element of Arcane. Not so much the like Jinx as a character, for instance.
This is why everybody has to watch that one Matthew Matos's Meta Micro videos and get black pilled on how subtlety is just a car chase sequence that's supposed to visually to stimulate you like a little bitch.
Exactly.
You guys suck. Show don't tell is just another thing like character development or any insert generic thing where people say that it makes something good. And it's easy to identify character development, a character change. That means good. And show don't tell, oh, they didn't just say that in dialogue, they showed it to me. That means it's good. And that's how people assess things, because they want this fucking media shit to be a little like a criteria sheet. You tick things off and then you get rewarded for identifying the good thing and identifying the bad thing.
Right. True.
Bunch of morons we're dealing with, EliteAri. I hate them all.
It's all because of the educational system. We have to reform it to...
No, it's all because of fucking shitty YouTube videos these morons have been watching for 10 years.
Probably, yeah.
The education system shows you good shit like The Crucible. Not this fucking shitty shit like anime. Ugh.
Probably true.
Disgraceful. Anyway.
Jinx.
How long until anime's in English classes, you know?
It probably is.
It's gotta happen soon. Yeah. Now.
How long until Arcane is in English classes?
EliteAri, this show was made in 2021, and we've got sexualized characters in it. I couldn't believe it with my little eyes.
Wait,
Can you believe it?
Yes, but what does 2021 have to do?
Jinx has side boob. Oh my god, little boob side boob is the best. This Caitlyn bitch has thighs and a frilly thing, and you're almost trying to look up her skirt every shot she's in.
Right.
We got well, the sex scene isn't even that fun or sexy, so that's not even part of it.
Oh, you didn't like it?
You're allowed to have sex scenes and things. Nah. There was one other one.
Yeah, Mel.
That's the girl in the sex scene, right?
Yep. There's a lot of characters. Jace. He's so handsome, isn't he?
Not boys. We don't like boys here, EliteAri.
Savika, the tough woman. Oh, there's a lot of people. I'm trying to name every character I can think of.
Maybe there wasn't another one.
All right.
And then there's that cleavage scene with Caitlyn too, and I was like, what is this?
I don't even know what you're talking about. What is the cleavage scene?
It's the last scene of episode 4, I think, where Jace comes into her room and she's like being fired or something, but she's still trying to figure out the case. She's got cleavage in that scene. Like a lot of cleavage.
I'd rather know
clearly just there for cleavage.
That is so true.
It's crazy.
And she steps on the little
How'd they get away with this?
Yeah.
They should have been cancelled.
Yep. All right.
It is weird. It is like a distinct thing that I was very surprised and impressed by. Just because, I don't know, it bucks a trend, I guess. It's part of the developing meta-narrative of this weird state female characters are kind of in right now.
Now, Kyle.
Which is great.
Does it ruin for you the fact that these are based on League of Legends characters that have certain designs?
Now, yes. I was thinking about that, and obviously everybody wants to fuck all the League of Legends characters. This is
Right.
historically known at EliteAri, so but they could easily change it, like how they almost certainly changed all the One Piece girls to not be sexy in the One Piece thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can easily change that shit, and even if they're established character designs,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Okay. Cool.
yeah, crazy,
Crazy
crazy.
indeed. All right, so that's Jinx. That was what we were talking about. Now, I'm sure she'll come up throughout this. Jason Victor.
Wait, hold on. I had another thought about this, about the sex stuff. Not
Yep.
about the sex stuff, about the horny stuff. About what was I calling it? Sexualization.
Mm-hmm.
Even in House of the Dragon, where it's literally Game of Thrones, so we're supposed to see titties all the time. I feel like every girl character in House of the Dragon is shown in like, unless it is literally a sex scene, which doesn't count. They're all in like fully covered dress. Like Alicent's not showing boobs at any point, huh? And neither's Rhaenyra, and
Mm-hmm.
neither's any of them. And I was like, man, that was made. That's like that 2020s effect. That's what we do now.
Wait, is it like that in the
Um,
books?
no, probably not. But that's besides the point. I don't know why you're bringing up books.
Well,
Um,
you said that you brought up the year, so
yeah, I don't
all
know.
right, cool.
It's just
So
fun.
you love sexualization. You love it when it defies the current era of storytelling. You're like, wow, I can't believe you did this because other stories don't
Well,
do
I
this.
like it because I like boobs and stuff. But like,
Right.
it's more interesting to be a trend.
True. Okay. Jace and Victor show the stabilized crystals to Heimerdinger, which stands up to being hit by a hammer, and they can be used to power anything. Isn't that ominous, Kyle? Oh my god. This couldn't be possibly used for evil or whatever. Heimerdinger is amazed, and he says that after a decade of careful research to make it safe, it will be ready for release. What do you think of the crystal
I hate this
storyline?
little rat.
Oh, okay, you just hate him. Okay, true, I agree.
I don't know. It's magic or some shit. I'm waiting for the cool guy that transformed the fucking weather and stuff to come back. He's gonna be cool when he shows up.
Yeah, I can't say
I
anything.
don't
I
know.
didn't.
Fucking silly magic nonsense. I don't know.
All right, cool. I thought it was really cool when he hit the hammer over the thing, and it was like, oh my god, that's scary. Don't do it. And then he did it. I was like, whoa. I guess another thing I didn't mention in the overall thoughts. I didn't remember much of this. I remember it when I watched through it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this scene. But trying to like predict or like think of what happens, like for instance in Act 3, I just like don't remember. So yeah, I'm kind of glad. I guess it's fun to watch it without remembering details. So Caitlyn is an enforcer
My
now.
rewatches are good EliteAri.
Very
You
true.
know, we love rewatches.
Very true. Caitlyn is an enforcer now, and she goes to investigate the ship that Jinx was on, and she finds that and she finds Silco's big guy who's like hiding in the basement like a coward. But we find out that
He
she's
got shot EliteAri.
yeah, what a weakling. How could he get shot like that? But he's supposed. No, we find out that Caitlyn is supposed to be doing more like ceremonial duties, like guarding her mum. But no, she's out there investigating because she has the heart of an investigator. You know, heart of an enforcer. We then.
So does this. So
Sorry.
Caitlyn was in the first part. I remember that much at least because
Yes,
she was British, and that's pretty funny.
indeed.
Isn't there an Australian accent joke at some point, EliteAri?
Wait, by who? What do you?
Oh
What
yeah, Caitlyn is the one that does it, where she starts to pretend like she's a country bumpkin in the brothel or whatever, and she
yeah.
starts speaking with an Australian accent.
No, she
Dumb
speaks.
bitch,
It's
I'll
not
beat
an
her up.
Australian accent. It's like a
It is.
No, it's one of those like what do you call it? It's a British accent, but it's like not the upper class one. It's like it has some name. I don't know what it is.
The lower class one, you
I don't think
fucking
it's
moron.
called
Or the
lower
chav
class.
one. It's not the chav one, you fucking idiot.
No,
It
it's
was an
like a
Australian accent.
It's definitely it's not an Australian. How can you not know? You're Australian, Kyle. How can you? It's like
That
a
the Marcus character is just an Australian voice actor. It's like the
he
Black
is yeah.
Sails thing where there's
Which
just Australian guys
wait
around,
was
and it
he
just don't make no sense.
was he Australian in the first 3 episodes? Because I didn't pick that up when I was watching. But here I'm like, yeah, he's obviously
No,
Australian.
he has like 3 lines.
No, I just
But
wondered,
yeah,
did he like change
actually,
actors or something and I just forgot? Or I don't know.
no, I don't think so. But speaking of 3 lines, this Caitlyn bitch had like 3 lines before the time skip. Was she saying things about being an enforcer or something?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Maybe she mentioned it. All I remember with her is
My
like,
mummy says I'm not allowed to hang out with
exactly.
you.
Yeah, it's the one scene I remember of her.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised when she was a big character again, but I don't know, she's pretty cool. And she's like gay and stuff, so
Is she? Oh my god. Okay. So
apparently these fucking boys aren't, you know. It's a shitty show. They're always cowarding out, having girls kiss and calling it gay representation because the male audience can stomach it better than boys kissing. I'm disgusted.
So true. Yes. Um. Anyway, we visit the Undercity, which is now under Silco's control,
Oh,
and
no,
it.
EliteAri, and the Undercity is connected by a bridge and is only a little underground.
Oh yeah, I did realize that, and they call it the Fissures now. Now I don't remember them calling that last part, but they refer to it as that now, and I'm like, that gives a better image of what it is. Where it's like they're deep down, but there's a sky because there's like fissures in the ground or whatever. I'm like, okay. Did you like that name,
Oh,
Kyle?
I guess that makes sense.
What was your theory? That they're just on the other side of the bridge?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes there's a sky, sometimes there's not, so I don't fucking know.
All right, cool. So Silco and Savika, the tough woman, is oh, I just got a message from Bacon. That was strange. Silco and Savika, they're talking, and then Savika is not happy with Jinx firing on them, which is what you were saying before, and she says that everyone knows that Jinx is a problem. Turns out Jinx is sitting up on the roof. Did you like that reveal where Silco was like talking to himself,
Yeah,
but
she
is
does it
not?
like 3 times. It's pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
Yep.
Her
And
hair's really long. It like nearly touches the
oh
ground.
god, I
And
hate
she's got
that.
like side boobs.
I mean,
No, it's so
it's a
cool.
cool design, but to me, it just like bothers me being like, oh god, like what if you step on it? It'd be so uncomfortable. You'd have to like manage where your hair is going.
She's an elite assassin, EliteAri. She's not going to stumble on her hair.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's a small bit of character and storytelling, isn't it? Turns out, yeah, she's sitting on the roof and she jumps down and she gives Silco his medicine, and she has that line where she says, "Sisters, right? You can't live with them. Can't stuff them back in the old baby maker." And I bet you were dying laughing when she said that, weren't you, Kyle?
No, but it
Okay.
was cute, I guess.
Yep.
She's crazy, EliteAri. She's crazy. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
but
True.
it shows how close they are, EliteAri, and it's so cute. And there's a little bit of like a sexual tension or something that's supposed to make you think it's gross. But I was just endeared by it.
Mm. Okay. So,
She
oh yeah, I
she does
guess.
his eye thingy. That's a very sensitive thingy.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. Did you think they were gonna kiss Kyle?
Shows the bonds. No, I know that they're not.
Okay. I kind of did. I was like, oh my god, maybe they will, but no, they didn't. Jace and Mel, they talk about whether Jace should announce. Oh, this whole episode, Jace is basically, should I announce this big announcement we made, or should I not? I have a speech coming up. And then Mel basically tells him, yeah, I think you should, with like more words than that. And then afterwards, Victor and Jace, like right before the speech, Jace is like, Victor, you should come up with me because we're partners. But Victor's like, no, I'm too nervous. And then, did you notice when Jace puts down his coffee mug and it has his face on it and it covers Victor in the background? Did you notice that?
I did notice that,
It was
EliteAri.
pretty
I'm
cool,
pretty
wasn't
smart.
it?
I'm pretty tuned in. I didn't notice that at all. The obviously we're setting up a will they won't they break up thingy here. Whereas Victor going to be jealous and become the bad guy because he's a little cripple boy, so they're not going to put him on the posters. But this fucking other idiot's on all of the posters.
Mm-hmm. Victor
We're
seems
kind of
fine
running
with
out of
it.
time for that. Yeah, I've seen generic shows before. He's jealous, and he's going to be won over by the dark side.
Right. Well,
Except I don't think so. Now, this fucking Victor idiot is dying, but he's also a League of Legends character.
mm-hmm. So you think he can't
So
die because
maybe
it's
they
League of
do a
Legends?
thingy. I wonder how he fights in League of Legends. You think he has magical abilities or something? Or maybe he's
Don't
going
you
to...
fight by
Because his
clicking?
blood...
There can't be too much
Yeah,
like.
you idiot. But some people punch and some people shoot laser beams and some
Oh
people swing
wow.
their sword. Oh my god, Alita, you're so stupid. But
Mm-hmm.
so his blood went into that magic thing. Maybe he's gonna get sucked in and taken over by the evil magic crystal, and he's gonna implode. He's gonna be the final bad.
Mm-hmm. So you think everyone will team up against Victor in the end?
Oh wait, that's exactly what's gonna happen, huh? Because it's gonna be an analogy with the stupid lizard thing that's also being kept alive, but is bastardized by like drugs and stuff, and he's gonna get obsessed with the magic. Write it down, EliteAri.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So then Jace goes to give his speech. And what did you think? Did you think this was the typical moment where it's like, oh, he shouldn't say it, but he says it and he announces it? Or do you think it was going to be the opposite where he's like, I'm not going to announce it and I'll be careful?
I don't think I cared enough to speculate. But besides that, this scene was like terrible, wasn't it, EliteAri? The crowd shots of them clapping were out of tune. It felt like a video game where
Hmm.
like we didn't have time to program the cutting and the The editing of this scene was terrible.
All right,
And Arcane does this sometimes where it
yeah.
quick cuts, and it's obviously
Yes.
stylized. Like I think it was at the end of, is it at the end of episode 6, something like that happened, and I was like,
Hmm.
Arcane, you suck. But I guess that's stylization, and I shouldn't be so caught up in these conventions, EliteAri. I like subversive things, supposedly, but here I am.
Well, I guess
A
two things
hypocrite
here.
once again.
One thing, it was definitely subversive to me because in my memory, I was like, oh yeah, this is where Jace announces it when he was not meant to, when Heimerdinger gets angry at him, but it was the complete opposite. So I was shocked watching this scene. The other thing is that I didn't notice anything about the editing being bad. The only thing I noticed is that at the end where he's nervous and he's gonna say it, is he not gonna say it, and everyone's like, oh boo or whatever, and then they all start clapping out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my god, he really convinced those people that like he's on their side or whatever, and they should champion him or something. It kind of happened suddenly, but I don't know, it didn't bother me. It was like a minor thing. I enjoyed the subversion.
I think it might have been. I think it might have been the crowd sound effects that sounded like video game things to me. It's almost like in Pokemon, where a character will be giving a speech, but because it's Pokemon, they don't have voice acting in Pokemon games yet. So it's just text, and you'll be clicking through the text, and then at some point, it'll try to cue like the crowd going crazy at the right part. I think they did this in Pokemon Sword and Shield a lot. But it would kind of be off, especially if you weren't reading with the text. And I don't know, it was just a weird little like, you could have timed that better. But
yes, clapping bad.
that was one of the times, EliteAri, where it reminded me of something and I actually remembered it in the moment. So that'll never happen again. But it was Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Well done. I'm clapping right now. All right.
You know,
Then we got some Jinx stuff. So Jinx is in a little bat cave kind of thing.
she's so cool.
And she throws her grenades and
Inventions and stuff.
she talks about her. Oh no, she made like her little childhood friends out of scrap and toys or whatever.
She
that's
did.
Cool. Yeah.
No, that's kind of crazy and mentally unwell, but also funny and endearing and cute.
Yeah, and she's also a little less quirky when she's by herself, which I think is probably to her credit. Like I kind of like that.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in this particular scene, she's not quirky at all. She's purely angry. But I think it is a general thing when she's.
No, the anger is the quirkiness. We love that.
I don't know about that. Anyway, we get more Jinx stuff. So next up, there's a little girl trapped in a tent and it's caught on fire. But as it turns out, it was actually a trap by Jinx.
Like that scene from Spider-Man.
True, but that was cooler because Green Goblin was the little girl. That was awesome.
No, it was an old lady, right? Oh no, it was the babe. No, it was the
Green Goblin dressed as an old lady, wasn't it? It was awesome.
Yeah, but no, Spider-Man had just saved a baby beforehand.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
God, those Samurai movies are fucking terrible.
No, they're awesome.
But the Green Goblins are sick. We love him. And then he turns around and screams, and it's him.
Yep.
And he's got a metal face. Stupid
Yep.
Green Goblin.
Love that movie.
What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Jinx. She was
does it.
blowing shit up, and she was killing people, and she was killing people earlier. We didn't talk about this later. She's a killer.
She's a murderer.
With a
Yeah.
capital K.
She's
That's
irredeemable.
sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember? Did you think she was gonna kill the guy at the bar when she put the bomb on his back? Because I certainly did.
Oh, that was great. That was great. But she didn't, and I was like, oh, he was endearing enough. Let him live. I'm happy he's alive.
I like that scene.
But I like the unpredictability of it.
True.
Oh, there was another one where I thought she was gonna. Oh, I was like, what if she just killed Caitlyn on the roof of that scene? I'd be like, that'd be sick. But that's not to happen.
Oh boy. I mean, Jesus. Remember when we can get to it later, but remember when Marcus in his mind exploded the grenade and killed Silco?
Oh, that was the cheapest fake out ever. But I did respect Arcane for a second, and then even after they took it away from me, I was like, okay, I kind of like that. I felt that even for a second.
Oh boy, yeah, I was like, because I obviously
things like that, like
ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like Mauler videos, and I'm like, man, he could definitely have a 75-minute rant about how much Jinx is the worst. And how cringe she is, and I'm like, yeah, that fake out subversion takeaway, like I could see him going on a rant about that, and I'm just like, yeah, no, it was okay.
All right, next up, like the little girl, she's trapped in there, and then Caitlyn, all her friends die, but they're not friends. I guess they were bullying her, so it's okay that they died. Jinx then after that, she goes and steals some of Jace's and Victor's research papers, and also the gemstone, and then Jace
stole everything. Pretty funny.
Yeah, and it was scary, and she graffitied everything. That's like a style or like a trait or whatever. Jace goes to the council and he's like, I need to prioritize safety by suspending all Hextech operations. And the council is obviously not happy because, you know, they're corrupt and they make money off these things. And we don't like the council, except for Heimerdinger, because he's like a bastion of good morals and everything. And then,
Little rat.
yeah, Mel proposes that Jace join the council. And then he does. And it's cool. Then,
Yeah.
Jinx is listening to loud music. This was actually a cool scene. I like this. She wasn't quirky in this, but like the directing was kind of quirky in a way. Like Jinx is listening to loud music, and
itself was quirky.
yeah, I guess the music, yeah,
because she's an Uber girl listening to her loud music, vibing out.
Yeah, and Silco's like screaming in the background when she can't hear him, and I like it 'cause Silco's
yeah,
like
it's
he's
that
frustrated.
scene, bro.
It's like a dad who's like their kids won't listen to them. Yeah, and then basically she reveals the gemstone, and he's like, "Oh my god!" and he like calms down a bit. Then Caitlyn, sorry, go ahead.
Hold on. We're doing the big talk about Silco.
Okay.
We thought, because this was an endearing moment with him, when you're like, oh, he's being a cute dad, isn't that cute? Better dad than that boring Vanderprick, I'll tell you that much.
True.
So last time I had an issue where he was almost cool, but he was a little bit too evil, and we're just doing it so we're gonna have an evil bad guy, and we're lazy, and we don't like nuanced characters. And then all this Jinx stuff was happening. I'm like, oh, this is good. But they did still do the evil stuff, like when he's with Marcus's daughter or whatever. Everything about that scene was okay, and then he knocked the thing down at the end. And I'm like, well, this prick is evil.
I agree.
This sucked. He should have been like it could have been a cool villain scene. Now, this has definitely been in things before too, where what if he just maintained the utter appearance in front of the little daughter or whatever? That would have been a better way to play the scene. But no, we have to know that he's threatening the little girl by knocking her thingy over and then apologizing falsely. So with Silco still kind of has the same problems, but he's still the second best character in the show, you know. But we like V and we like Caitlyn and we like everybody now. So shut up. That's like the 4 characters that are in it that I like, right? There's no other ones.
I guess, yeah. I was gonna ask you at the end, like, who are your favorite characters? So what are you saying? Jinx is number 1
They
still?
Sucks. Yeah. And then Silco's number 2, and then the lesbian girls, they're 3rd.
Right. Okay. Interesting. And who's the least? Jace, Victor. Wait, do you not like Jace and Victor equally, or do you like only just don't like Jace?
No, Victor's okay, and he's dying, and he's got some focus, and it's a little. Right. You feel a little bad.
True, we see his backstory.
A little furry thing, you know. He can be just above Jace on like the shit scale, you know.
Yep. Yeah, we don't like careful scientists who try and safeguard things. Anyway.
Not with that voice, we don't.
Caitlyn is... what is this? I said piecing together, but I meant piecing together clues to Silco and Jinx's misdeeds. But she's lost her job because her parents want her somewhere safer. And then I just said Caitlyn stepping on the little stool thing is one of the hottest things I've seen in my life for some reason. And I don't know why. Then Caitlyn, she goes to Stillwater Hold.
What a creep you are, Larry.
I don't know why. It's just the way she stepped on the thing. Caitlyn goes to British, yeah, maybe that's true. Caitlyn goes to Stillwater Hold, a prison housing Vi, and I guess we kind of get the reveal at the end of this episode, and that was like the big. I do like the endings of these episodes. The Vi one was cool. I think the next episode has the coolest ending, and the last one was okay too. We'll get to that. I guess I have notes on this episode. Let's see what's interesting. Caitlyn. I hate Caitlyn's family. Now that Jace is successful, they're like, we like Jace now.
They're back sucking him off. Yeah, it's cool.
You know, it's a nice generic thing, but I like it, right? It's crazy how much of a...
That's just how people are, EliteAri.
It speaks to the universal condition or whatever, yeah. It's crazy how much of a step down this episode is. So true. Jinx mimicking the angry... Oh, it's the greatest thing. I don't know if you remember the scene. It's currently the backdrop of the thing as we're recording right now. When Savika, what was her name? It wasn't Savika, was it? Whatever the tough lady name is. She like gets angry at Jinx and she goes in her face and she like growls or whatever. And Jinx is kind of like, she doesn't have an expression, but then she like mimics the tough lady's expression and she's like, she like growls back. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so great. I love that scene. So anyone listening right now, look at your screen. Look at it right now. I'm commanding you. That's the scene I'm talking about. So yeah.
I don't recall it exactly, but if Jinx was in it, it must have been good.
Yep. let's see, a stable version of the crystals. Oh yeah, this is like the symbolic nature of these crystals. So obviously they're very symbolic. Like the whole show is basically, at least so far, at least, has been framed around these crystals. Like they're the climax of like part like episode 3 or whatever. They're like, you got these two parallel storylines of like Jason, whatever, doing that stuff. You got Powder and stuff working on them in the other direction, whatever. So on one hand, I said it's probably some symbolic thing about the elite class, because obviously what Jace is doing is like, or Jason, Victor, they're like, we can like create this thing and make it really safe and then give it to everyone. And it kind of feels like it's the elite class of people kind of looking down on the lower people who like would do uncivilized things with this like technology, whereas we'll do like the good things and the nice civilized things. They're gonna like dumb it down and make it safer for them. So that's like one thing. The other thing is, I guess the thing is like you've got Jinx also taking these crystals and kind of not corrupting it, but like kind of using it for, I don't know, I guess we'll see what she uses it for, but she's experimenting with it, which is kind of, I don't know, it's like you got two paralleled ways of working on this technology. And then I said they're probably pretty important, aren't they? They represent great destructive power, but also great societal progress. And they introduced in, oh yeah, that's just like saying when they're important and all that, so... Crystals, crazy. They probably mean something for the grander story, but I have no idea what it is at this point. Then...
Okay, call Wolf. Get him to figure it out.
I think we'll have a solid idea by the end of this, hopefully. So much weirdly unnatural cutting between the Piltover scenes and the underground scenes. Yeah, it feels like in the first act, it kind of felt like there was not too much, like... It felt like the two storylines were nicely, like, intercut between an episode. This one feels like, especially when I was going back to this recap... it's like you have like minute-long scenes or even less where it's just like in one location and then you cut to the other storyline with Jason. You do that like rapidly throughout these episodes and it feels very unnatural to me, I guess.
Nah, you lying.
That's very true, yeah. What else?
You crazy for real.
Subversive there. Oh, Kyle, this is a general thing that I love whenever any story does it, and it was done so well here, which is, I don't know if you remember this scene, but remember when they're going to the fire at the beginning when you think it's like a little girl who's trapped in fire, but it's actually Jinx. Remember that scene?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you remember before that scene where there's like the group of enforcers and Caitlyn is there and they say this joke about like how, oh, you're a Kiraman, shouldn't you be like guarding a toilet or something? They make like some really dumb joke and everyone laughs. It's like the stupidest joke, but the whole like crew is laughing because they're like bullying Caitlyn. I love when those scenes happen, and I was dying of laughter when they said that. God, it's the greatest. It's the universe. I don't know what it is. It's like the fact that the writers think this is funny to include it is just the funniest thing to me, and it cracks me up in every story. So I loved it. That was a great example of. I even have the joke here. What are you doing, Kiraman? Don't you have a cocktail party to attend? And then they all laugh, and I'm like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yep. No, but it's great because it's terrible. I love it. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Episode 5. The title of this episode, Kyle.
Episode 5.
Episode 5, yeah, true. No, that would be episode 6, right? Everybody wants to be my enemy. Did you soy out?
Oh
when you
my
heard
god,
that?
it's this song I was soying out already.
Yep.
No, I'd seen it already because I scroll
that's a
down
shame.
sometimes.
Anyway, so we open this episode with a flashback for Caitlyn. Like we see her, she's doing the training exercises with Grayson. Remember her? Were you amazed that she showed back up?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad. And she gives Caitlyn the final shot, basically. She lets Caitlyn win. And at the party, Caitlyn's like, did my parents pay you for this or whatever? And she's like, no, I think you deserved it or something. And then she asks Caitlyn, what are you shooting for? And maybe you can explain this to me, Kyle. I don't know if you remember that. But she says, what are you shooting for? And then Caitlyn looks into the distance. And then like you transition to the prison. And I'm like, why? What? Like, what is this?
Truth or something, you know?
Oh, is that what it means? Like she wants to be an investigator or something? I don't know. It felt like, because Arcane is so deliberate and usually so obvious with its storytelling. In that one case, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what they're trying to tell me.
I guess it could be like, oh, I was shooting so I can become an enforcer one day and put the bad guys behind bars.
Yeah, sure. I guess it could be just that boring. I expected more from the show, but yeah, okay. In the present, Caitlyn is talking to Vi in the prison, and she finds out Silco the industrialist is involved in a scheme. And I thought that was really cool when they referred to Silco as an industrialist, because I'm like, oh my god, that's the Silco we've seen.
Story.
Yeah, he's so evil, but no, maybe he used to be an industrialist, and that's like what people know him as, you know? Oh my god.
It's like how Tony Soprano was a garbage man, EliteAri.
Oh really? That's disgusting. I hate garbage.
Waste management consulting.
Yeah. He's like Tyrion in... All right, let's keep going. All right. Vi gets interested when she sees one of Powder's monkey graffiti things, and Caitlyn talks to the. Oh, okay. I love the big prison guard. I feel like I don't know if we mentioned. Oh no, it was the big guy we are talking about before. But I love this big prison guard where she's like, "I have this order for this prisoner," and he's like, "Oh, you want me to beat her or whatever?" And it's like, "No, not that." I'm like, "This guy is just a nice evil prison guard. I love him." Then
yeah, he was pretty cool. I don't know if he
Yeah.
just reminded me of King Yama or if it's somebody else, but he's got a big desk, so it must be King Yama.
Yeah, except like evil.
Do you
King
know
Yama's
what?
a good guy.
You know what King Yama's desk is made out of?
Of course, Kyle. Of course. You go ahead. Say
Kill
it.
yourself. Kill yourself. I don't want to say it. I'm backing out.
All right. Mahogany. It's a great desk. All right. Caitlyn talks
No,
to
he
a big.
He didn't.
Yeah, he talks to a big prison guard. We said that one. Cut to the funeral of the enforcers that Jinx killed, and we see Marcus has an orange-haired daughter. How does that make sense, Kyle? That's absurd. It's almost as bad as like Vi's mum having
somebody with
blue
orange hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I got in a very embarrassing argument. I think I've done this on stream before, where with somebody recently, where I was made fun of once again for not understanding what colors make other colors, because you're supposed to learn this when you're like 8 years old. So I was gonna say he fucked an orange-haired bitch, but he's got brown hair, and I can't do the math equation to figure out which color hair the mother must have to result in the orange hair girl.
That's not how that works, Kyle.
Oh, EliteAri, she must be a League of Legends character that's going to be in Season 2. I don't know any League of Legends characters with orange hair, though. That's got to be it.
I actually have no idea if Marcus is a... He might be. It sounds like a League of Legends name, right? Marcus? I don't know. Maybe not.
I'm not sure. So does every name.
Yeah, I guess. Caitlyn. Yeah, what a
There's got to be an Ari in League of Legends. There is. Not a Kyle, but
there is an Ari, because like my friends always, when they're playing, they'll say Ari, and I think they're talking to me. But no, they're just referring to the nice character in the game. I hate it.
Yeah.
All right. Cut to the funeral.
Wait, what color is it, EliteAri? Tell me.
Wait, what? Is what color?
How do you make orange?
Oh, no. That's not how genetics work. You don't mix the colors of the hair. It's like one hair color usually will predominate, right? If you have the gene for like orange hair, you'll generally, you'll have orange hair. I mean, sometimes maybe there can be a mix, but I don't think so. Like, it's very unlikely.
So if we remove hair from the discussion, how do you make orange from colors?
It's like yellow and red, right? Surely.
Oh, yeah, that makes
it's like
sense.
The natural, yeah, I think. I'm also not very good at the color mixing stuff, but I know my basics like that, all right? The nice color, what are they called? Primary colors or whatever?
Multiple times throughout my life.
That's
okay. For not knowing this color bullshit.
And that's why you're so obsessed with art now, because you want to prove everyone wrong, that you can analyze art, even if you can't distinguish colors.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Marcus still fucking sucks, though. He's boring and I hate him. The one
but
time
he's Australian.
He blew the shit up. That was pretty cool.
That was the coolest thing.
Like those,
I wish it happened. It would have been so cool, Imagine that. Silco's all this storyline just gone. Huh? Not in that way, though. Not in like a Kyle wish it happened way. I don't feel that strongly about it. But like, I kind of wish it happened, I'll say. Like, this isn't Doctor Who, the second F special where I wish Donna died, It's a bit different to that. Cut to... I've read this note 3 times now. After this scene, where he like refers to Grayson as a good woman, actually, what do you think is going on with Marcus? Just generally. I don't understand. Like, firstly, why is he working with Silco? Why did he take Vi and send her to prison? Like, what is his story? I just don't understand at this point. Surely you can fill me in here.
He's conflicted EliteAri. He's, on one hand, he's an evil bad guy. And on the other hand, he's got a heart.
What I don't understand...
He totally, like, undermined the Grayson girl, but he didn't want her to get killed. And then he did get killed.
How did he undermine? Like, I can see how he undermined her, but he didn't undermine her to help Silco. No, he... Remember when...
Well, he was getting paid off by Silco, right?
Yeah, remember the blood money. Yeah, it, like, fell into the thing. But before anything with Silco, they had a meeting initially, like, in the first act, where Silco apparently made a plan with him or whatever. And then Grayson died, and he's like, this wasn't part of the deal or whatever. And then he gives him the blood money. And then there's the scene at the end of episode 3 where he takes Vi away, basically, and it's like, he'll kill you if he finds out. Why does he then go to help Silco? I don't understand at all.
Because Silco probably seeks him out again and says, you're going to do what I say or we're going to kill you.
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, and he gets made sheriff, remember? So they're still helping each other out mutually.
Yeah, the thing is for me, though, I just don't understand how from his character in the first part, which is all about, like, hating the Undercity and wanting to fix this mess and, like, doing whatever it takes and not caring about, like, Vander looking after everything and blah, 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 and doing all these things. He wants to basically be a hot-headed, like, really high-ranking force in this army or whatever. He wants to make things right, and now he's on the side of the enemy that he was so adamant against in the first part, and it kind of seems like it's brushed over. Now
Because he's weak-willed.
Yeah, I can understand him being weak-willed, but what made him, what led to him working with Silco is just like my big question. I just don't understand how it went from him taking Vi away from him to now working with him.
Why he continued to work with him, right?
Yeah, I guess after he had that scene where it's like, this wasn't a deal. Now that he knows that Silco's not going to honor the deal, I don't understand. But who knows? Maybe he's just weak-willed, and there's something I'm missing, and I'll accept it. All right.
I can write this scene in my head, EliteAri, in true Arcane fashion. He's in his office after this has happened, 2 weeks after the end of episode 3, and Silco's goon or something shows up mysteriously in his office, hanging from the ceiling, and he's like, "We need more from you." And he's like, "No, you betrayed me last time." And then he drops coins on the table and he goes, "There's more where that came from." And then he looks at it, and then we cut away, and he's considering it, and he takes the money.
You're so right, Kyle. You're so right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know what? I'll just, that's my canon now. All right, I'll stick with that. Okay. Then what? Cut to the, not that I've read, that's the fourth time I've read this note. Marcus meets with Silco, and Silco tells him to blame the Firelights, basically. Then Jace is doing some security audits, and Marcus is there as well, crazy. And he finds massive discrepancies in the paperwork. And then Jace and Victor, they argue about things, and Jace is like, I need to make safety my top priority. And then Victor's like, but there's people right now that need our help. And there's probably some commentary about, I don't know, progressivism and conservatism or whatever. I feel like that's a big theme of this arc, I guess. Then Victor, he's coughing up blood, and he has a vision, apparently. Then he goes back to the lab, and he discovered... Now, I don't know if you picked this up, Kyle, but he discovered that instead of trying to find runes that invoke specific effects, you should teach the Hextech to actually do things. So yeah, that was really interesting.
Oh yeah, I remember being like, oh, it's just like AI.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I was like, that's why EliteAri loves this show, but he doesn't love this show. He hates it. That means that it's going to become an AI, and it's going to be the bad guy in the end. And EliteAri hates it on ideological grounds.
True. All right. Jace goes to a theater. Do you remember the theater scene? There was the guy performing. It was really cool. And he's sitting there with Mel, and then Mel is like, you need a cut back or whatever from what you're doing because you'll get killed. You're making enemies, blah, blah, blah. And then Jace basically, he shakes everyone's hands and he starts making these secret deals.
He sold his soul.
Just like Marcus. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm glad we get two overlapping storylines. Isn't that always the greatest?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
They did it in a theater scene, EliteAri. That's one of my favorite all-time tropes.
True, just like
Final
Mushoku
Fantasy
Tensei.
6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When did Mushoku Tensei do it?
Season 2, episode 0. There was a nice scene there where some ominous stuff is happening in a theater where Darius is scheming. Anyway, so Jinx.
I do not remember that.
Oh, but it's very important.
Yeah. Oh, you cut off my Final Fantasy 6 joke, EliteAri. I haven't played Final Fantasy 6. I actually don't even know what happens in the scene. But everybody always says, "Man, that's one of the greatest scenes in video game history." The opera scene from Final Fantasy 6 is like a girl singing or something, and then something dramatic happens.
That's wild.
And then in The Godfather Part 3, there's another scene in a theater like that, and then it's my favoriteest trope,
So they all referencing The Godfather, you reckon?
No, Godfather 3 came out in 1990.
I mean, that's before everything recent. You named.
Yeah, only just before Final Fantasy 6, though, I assume.
Right.
No, that shit was probably like 1994, huh? But no, it's probably in the Silmarillion. No, that's not one of those. Oh, that's Lord of the Rings thing. That's not... The Iliad is what I was thinking of,
What is that?
Greece and stuff.
Oh, never heard of it.
That's Homer. Homer? I don't know if it's actually Homer. That's one of those Greek names.
You're so knowledgeable, Kyle. Oh, you're thinking about Plato.
I just, Oh, maybe. Is Homer a Plato character, or is it another philosopher?
Plato is a philosopher.
Plato's theory of relativity, right?
It's Einstein. Yeah, close. You've seen Oppenheimer. What are you... Come on.
I love Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Jinx is
Sweet.
experimenting with the gemstone, but it goes off by accident,
If
and
you
she
think
flashes.
Oppenheimer is the best movie of 2023, you definitely love Arcane. I'm just saying.
Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, almost certainly. Jinx is experimenting with the
Miller the
gemstones,
Killer.
but it goes off by accident, and she flashes back to when she killed her friends. It happens a few times in this. Like initially in episode 1, she flashes back when she sees the pink-haired girl, and now it flashes back when she sees the gemstone go off. And she cries, Kyle. I thought you hate when characters cry, but here you are
Oh,
defending
but no, she was
Jinx.
crazy crying. Crazy crying is great. EliteAri, I want
Right.
to stress that every scene with Jinx is a 10 out of 10. It's perfect, and she's the best.
That's awesome to hear. All
I
right.
want to watch episode 7 just to see the Jinx scenes.
Oh, okay, interesting. Um,
What
I
does
mean,
that
I'm
mean?
excited for the rest of this season. Let's see. Vi and
Oh, she's
Caitlyn.
gonna be serious. Oh
Vi
no.
and Caitlyn.
Yuck.
No, it's nothing to do with Jinx. Don't worry. Vi and Caitlyn go to the fishes and the Undercity and try and track down Silco and Jinx. They basically have a massive storyline, the most boring storyline in all of Arcane.
No, it's pretty sick, bro.
Did you like the parkour to get into the city? Was that cool?
Yeah, it's funny every time that she does it really cool, but Caitlyn can't do it very cool.
True. I'm glad you like it because I didn't like it. I was like, oh, okay, here's the nice parkour scene. What a great use of time. But you know, it's not terrible. You know, it's just okay. Vi and
Shut up,
Caitlyn.
EliteAri. I just watch these magical morons talk about their progress day for
That was
20
really
minutes. I
cool.
can't
Yeah.
see cool gay girls being cool and stuff. Okay.
All right. No, actually, I like. You know how much I said I don't like Vi, and I don't like Vi and Jinx. I love Caitlyn. Caitlyn's great. Vi and Caitlyn.
Yeah,
Remember when she
'cause your
stepped on the
sexual
stool?
appetite, you fucking
That was
creep.
awesome. My god. Vi and Caitlyn go to the fishes in the Undercity, and they track down Silco and Jinx. They end up in a brothel. In this show of all shows, crazy. To get information, and then Vi. I did like this line. Vi calls Caitlyn hot, and she says, "You're hot, cupcake." What did you think of that? Did you find that cringe, or did you like it?
Yeah, that was kind of cringe. But
I liked it.
Vi can be cringe sometimes, you know. She had to win me over a little bit here.
Yep.
Caitlyn kind of agrees to it a little too quickly. I was like, what is she doing? Is she gonna fuck this dude to get some information? And I don't think so. And then she ends up with a girl somehow, and I was like, oh, we're obviously teasing that they're gay because she just called her hot and stuff.
Do you think they'll kiss by the end of the show?
Well, they nearly did already, so I'm pretty sure.
Cool. All right. Vine. I read that. Oh, jeez. I'm reading so many notes here, Kyle. Vi.
Wait, EliteAri
Caitlyn
explain
hot.
how she ended up with a girl.
Off screen. What do you mean?
She just weaseled her way in. You know?
Yeah, that's the funny. That's the joke, right? Where it's like Vi thinks that she's gonna be with that same person, but no, she's with someone else. Haha, funny. You know, like Caitlyn's actually found her place here.
Get any information? No,
I know
Vi
she
went to
didn't.
the old girl.
I think the joke is that Caitlyn actually fits in here, and she actually enjoys it. That was the joke, where it's like you think Caitlyn, the stuck up like enforcer from the upper city, she's not gonna like it here, but no, she likes it. I think that's what's meant to be conveyed, but maybe not.
Well, I thought the point of the scene was just to tease the gay stuff, but
Maybe that as well. I
mean, because she's with a girl, and then we linger on her and the girl looking in at each other.
It probably is. Yeah, that's probably another major thing. Then we go back to the arcade. Jinx is back at the old like training place with the punching bags. We can't tell if it's an arcade or a boxing gym or something. And she fights the punching bag. And did you notice, Kyle? You know what? I'm not even going to say. Did you notice what happens after she punches the punching bag?
I know there was like a cool visual sequence or something.
Actually, that was very cool.
Together
Yeah.
or fighting each other or
I like
something,
that. And then she gets second place to Vi. Vi still wins. Which I don't know what's.
Oh yeah, they showed the leaderboard, but I couldn't read this fucking.
Yeah, I had to pause it and like pay attention to it. But yeah, Vi is in first place, and Powder, I think it said Powder is in second place. Yeah.
Well, you know what I thought was interesting is I was like, oh, this sucks. Jinx probably can't punch good because she probably like shoots and stuff because I've seen that before.
Right.
And then she was doing pretty good at punching, so I was like, oh,
yeah,
I guess she can do everything.
Do you reckon you could get the top score?
Sucked. Yes.
Nice. All right.
I'm a man, EliteAri.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Do you think Victor would get the best score? He's a man, right?
Well, he's not me.
Right. Okay. Marcus meets with Silco again, and he kills him with a grenade. It's the greatest scene in this whole. Actually, I did not like it, but I wished it happened. You know. Mel makes a move. I'm being like you. You know, last time we were being ironic. Now I'm being ironic. I hate it. Mel makes a move on Jace, and they. Oh yeah. Okay. Do you think at this point does Mel actually like Jace, or is she just using him for like the influence and money and all that? What do you reckon?
Oh, she's grumpy when he's not there the next morning, so that indicates that she does like him.
Interesting. Okay, that's a good, interesting observation. What if she's pretending? What if she's a really good actor? She's the richest person in Piltover, after all.
Well, that would be crazy. Now, I do remember reading the episode 8 description. It was about her meeting her mother. So,
Oh, okay.
she's probably asking for something for him, and she's going to get some development. So, she's probably not an evil one note bitch then.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, she makes a move on Jace, and then they have sex while Victor is experimenting with his hex tech, and he's getting angry, and then he passes out, and then the hex tech absorbs some of his blood. Isn't that ominous?
Yeah, and it's a cum metaphor, EliteAri. Did you like that visual storytelling?
No, I didn't. No. There was a interesting. I mean, I say this all the time. Arcane, visually amazing. There was a really cool montage there, yeah, where they're having sex and Victor's doing the stuff, and it's like swirling around, and the blood goes into it. Yeah, and it is like it's like they're finishing with Victor's blood. It was kind of cool to see. And to that you say, "Wow, Kyle." I mean, wow, Ari, that was awesome. All right. He gives a monologue
I'm
about
the sex scene expert. I love them all. This one was boring.
True. It's no like Griffith and Charlotte.
I know, it's kind of interesting when it first happened. They showed him kissing for a little while. That was kind of cool. But yeah.
Did you think they were?
It's this Jace idiot.
Did you think that Mel and Jace would get together? Because I initially, when I was watching that first arc, I was like, oh yeah, it's Jace and Caitlyn, obviously, the childhood friends.
Yeah, I did think that, and then when the gay stuff, I was like, well, when I was like piecing it together, and like, yeah, no, I think it was the theater scene where I was starting to piece it together. I was like, yeah, and he's supposed to. Well, then I was like, well, he's not the gay one, and then the Caitlyn goes off with her own gay adventure, so it must be through mathematications that these two,
I understand completely. All right.
I know.
Then Jinx made fun of you, Kyle, if you can believe it. Because Silco takes Jinx to the waters that he drowned in, and she's like, I'm sick and tired of hearing your story about drowning. It's like, he was a brother, he was like a brother to you, and he turned on you, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, that's what Kyle was
so
like.
Cute. We gotta watch. We need a YouTube video compilation, all Jinx scene Arcane, and that's the best part of the show.
I'm sure that exists, yeah. He gives a monologue about letting a weak man die.
Do people generally like the Jinx? Well, you said everybody generally likes everything in the show. Do people generally like the Jinx thing? I can definitely see a very passionate, negative fan base thing.
Yep, everyone loves Jinx. Yep.
Oh.
But everyone also loved Vanda. No, you didn't like Vanda.
Like Jinx?
Yeah. I think, if I were to guess, I think most people. Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say I think most people like Vi better, but I think most people just think Vi is hotter. So I don't know. I truly don't know. I think Bacon likes Vi better. Oh no, I think Bacon thought Vi was the main character. I think that's what he said. Well, it's obviously Jinx. Obviously, come on. Anyway, he gives a monologue.
Didn't you try to make a snide comment last time about who I thought the main character was? You fucking
yeah. No, I was just asking you. I was just wondering what you thought. Yeah. No, and you said Vi in that one. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, you're on Bacon side.
No, I didn't. I said Jinx, and you probably said, it's powder, Lamau. Because that was a funny beat you did a bunch. And then
that wasn't a bit. Like, it annoys me.
How do you calculate? No, and then you said, powder's a shit name.
Fantastic.
So name. We don't use it. But then you try to do a Last of Us thing about who the main character, and then I threw it back at you and won the argument.
Yeah, you said based on screen time, it's probably Vi, right? And I was like, oh no, he's on Bacon's side. Anyway, he gives a monologue about letting a weak man die and letting another be born, and then he tells Jinx, you're strong now, just like you were always meant to be. Jinx is perfect. And then he looks like they're about to kiss. This is the moment where I'm like, oh my god, are they going to kiss? That's crazy. And then he baptizes her.
Oh yeah, I was thinking when you were asking that question, you were talking about the desk scene.
I was also there.
But they did get close to each other here. So, you know what's good about Arcane? The only good bit of animation in all of Arcane is that when she goes into the water and there's like little things where her face used to be. And then later, and I think it's in the next episode, when Victor puts when he's a little kid, he puts the little thing in the boat in the ocean and there's little things on the water.
The little the weird colors? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, as it goes beneath it and stuff, That's
Wait,
the
like
only
the
good bits of
poison?
animation in Arcane.
Like the weird like gunk in the
No,
undercity
no,
water?
no. Where the boat touches, it's like the trail after you touch the water, and it's not just on the top, but it's a little bit deeper, so it has a little bit of a different texture. So you didn't even
Right.
notice, Leader.
No,
You
I
don't know
didn't.
anything about animation.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway,
Everything else sucks. Show looks mid.
that's yep, true. I did reflect a lot, when I got to the end of episode 6, I'm like, why do people like this show? And I really do think it is like most of it comes from the visuals. Because I feel like the visuals engage people where they're like, well, that was really cool. I'm glad I watched that. And I feel like that's what it is. Because the story truly is incredibly like, there's just like, I don't know, not much is going on in these episodes, is what I feel like. But then again, I
There's
feel
so much going on constantly.
so. Okay, up to this point in episode 6, what's happened in Jace's storyline? Like he had a speech.
His friend's dying. He's
Yeah,
become a
exactly.
counselor. He was going to give a speech, but he didn't, etc., etc. What happened the whole first episode, 3 episodes? He did a magic thing. Cringe.
All right, so I can understand. So it all comes down to what you place the emphasis on, is what it seems like. So maybe, you know what? Maybe it is never a valid criticism to say that not enough is happening, because people place different emphasis on different elements of a story, and therefore you shouldn't really say that. So you know what, Kyle? You've convinced me, all right? Maybe a lot is happening
Have
for
you ever
someone here.
considered, EliteAri, that there's no such thing as a valid criticism?
It's true, and there's no such thing as an invalid criticism either. There is no such thing as
True.
criticism, Yeah, oh my god, it's all...
True.
There's no such thing as art either. Art is just like nothing.
True.
Anyway.
It's either everything or nothing, EliteAri. 2019 Kyle Entertainment used to say that.
True. The OP music plays, and we get a montage of Vi walking through the Undercity, and we find out that the song is actually diegetic.
EliteAri, I was soying out so much. I was like, oh my god, me and EliteAri just talked about this. How are they not going to play the rap?
Yep.
It's going to be crazy.
I thought the exact same thing, yeah.
Oh, EliteAri, the greatest? I nearly said visual technique, but it's audio technique in anything ever, is when the music is in the other room and the character is in this room. It's the greatest sound. If you're at a party and the music's in the other room and you're in that room and you can hear it, it's just the best. It's the best thing your ears can hear, and they did it in this episode, and I was soying out.
True, I agree. It's also good when you're hearing music
song,
and then you dive into water, and the water like makes the music a bit muffled. It's kind of a similar.
It muffles it. Yeah,
I like it. Let's see.
And then she like need the girl or something.
Yeah, she fights. Cool. She fights the tough Savika lady, who like has an arm powered by Shimmer. Wasn't that crazy, Kyle? Oh my god. Did you like that?
Yeah, crazy.
True, it was really cool.
Yeah, and then I kept noticing the tube coming out of her shoulder, and I'm like, can you just like break that? And then later she shot that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's pretty smart, Or actually, it's pretty dumb design, but Oh
my god, isn't that crazy, Kyle? How Caitlyn is a good shot, just like Powder was, and it's like she's replacing Powder in Vi's life. That was really cool. I just thought of that now.
She's got like blue hair.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually really cool. The episode ends with Jinx spinning in her chair, like the gemstone runes, I guess. And Savika tells Silco, the sister, she's back. And then we get the best ending to an episode in all of Arcane, where it's like, from the dead? And it ends. And I'm not joking, that was awesome. It was really, I don't know why, but it's just, it's like Silco's like energy or whatever. Yeah, it was cool.
I will say everything, and it is just the time skipped effect. I feel like I was invested in every little beat in all these episodes where it's like at the beginning, it's like, oh my god, Jinx is going to show up. Can't wait for that. And then you're like over here and this Caitlyn girl has become a character and you're like, oh, what's she going to do? This is crazy. And then you're over here and Vi's at the end of the episode. I'm like, I hate Vi. Oh, but she's pretty cool now. And then you're going over here and they're going into the underground. And you're like, how's Vi going to react to all the changes? And you're sawing out at every moment. It's the time skip and a plot. Crazy. Now the show's good.
I'm so glad to hear it, Kyle. And so is everyone in the comments, I'm sure. They were very outraged last episode. Anyway.
No, they weren't. We got no mean comments. I was so mad. Nobody cares about shitty Arcane.
Don't worry. Over time, the comments usually come. These discussions, they get comments for the long term. Like, I'm still getting Vinland Saga comments like once every 5 months or something.
I don't like that I don't get notified when you get comments. Like, I want to go read all the comments on the Mushoku Tensei ones now. Just in case I've missed some.
Yeah. All right. My notes for episode 5. We got the issues with Marcus. We talk about the big guy, Fisher Folk. That's what they were. Was that one of those? Did you ever cringe at anything here? I remember the dialogue is something you complained about last time, where you're like the
Yeah,
academy or
I
whatever.
don't think I cringed too bad at
That's
anything
good.
really.
All right. The one thing I would think of maybe you would have cringed at is calling them the Firelights as a name. Did that bother you or not really?
Oh yeah, that was a little soy, but
Okay, cool.
they didn't say it too much.
True.
Wait, what was the fisher folk thingy you just said?
Vi at some point refers to the people down in the Undercity as the Fisher Folk, which is like a new name I'd never heard of. Yeah, but it's like it's okay.
Oh, when she's eating in the underground, that was pretty gross. That was pretty cringe, huh?
Yeah, but then she gets the little secret information. I was like, oh, this is cool. This guy's like he's a chef, and he respects that she likes his food, and then he gives her a little information. I always like that kind of stuff.
Mm.
It's like Blade Runner.
And then they're gonna like caress each other with that napkin later and do
Will
sex
they?
stuff.
Do you think there'll be more sex in the show?
Huh, I don't know. They're gonna kiss. I don't know if they're gonna sex. Now that would be crazy.
Okay. Jinx's hair way too long. Already said that.
Absolutely not.
You're gonna disagree with this now. Or maybe you won't. But I said there's probably a very good video to be made about Arcane being very generic. You could probably make a very interesting video, and I don't think anyone's done it before. But then again, I haven't seen any Arcane videos. Maybe it's like a common thing people say in videos. I don't know. But now's your chance, Kyle.
If we look up Arcane video essay,
you'll get so many spoilers.
I bet the titles will be so funny.
We'll do that next time. The competing technologies of Shimmer.
Arcane.
I'm sure there's a million of those, or like finally a good adaptation, or stuff like that. A Jockey Bacon.
Video
Didn't
game
he do
adaptation
that?
Good.
Wait.
Did it? Maybe.
Let me double check. A good adaptation. Someone's done that recently. Was it Bacon? Someone did that. Anyway, whoever it is, well done. It was it captured my attention enough. What else? You're sweet, like a cupcake. And she like that delivery the second time she says it when they're in the alley. That was kind of cute. I like that. Would you say you're most invested in the Vi Jinx relationship or the Vi Caitlyn?
The Jinx Silco one.
Oh, Jinx Silco. Okay, interesting.
Obviously. What the fuck? But out of the ones you just mentioned, I guess the Caitlyn one, but I don't know. Because I was soying out about how these sisters were boring and lame, and I hate siblings that get along. But I don't know. I did feel the climax in the meeting at the end.
True. Okay.
But then Caitlyn and Vi are gonna have some climaxes too, if you know what I'm saying, EliteAri.
Yeah, and I wonder if we'll get like a nice intercutting between that and like maybe Jinx will be the victor in that situation or something. I don't know. All right, episode 6.
Oh, okay. I was like,
do you understand?
How's she gonna win? Victor,
no, the intercutting. They're having sex, and remember Victor was like having blood, and Jinx will be the one having the blood or whatever. I don't know. Episode 6.
Remember EliteAri when you're like, Jinx and Vi aren't actually sisters? You said that last time. You're so stupid, EliteAri. Obviously they are.
What's the evidence they are?
Because they're sisters.
We do see a mum at like one episode. Did you notice that?
No.
It's like when Vi goes to her old house with Caitlyn, in the worst like part of the episode. And she's like freaking out, not freaking out, she's like dying or whatever. And she has a flashback to her mum and Powder, and it's implied that they were actually sisters. They lived in the same house. She cared about the same mum.
Well, that was the same mum that like
from you. No, but I don't buy it. She has red hair. How does that make any sense, Kyle? Like, it's impossible. How can
they dye their hair, EliteAri? Real people don't have that color hair.
Yeah. Okay, episode 6.
This is an anime, EliteAri. This is made by white people.
Is it?
Actually, it's probably definitely animated in Japan or some shit, huh?
In Japan? Oh my god.
Isn't Family Guy like animated in Japan or something?
I don't know. Isn't Avatar in like Korea? I think it's where that's animated.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But also, this is a Chinese property, right? Like League of Legends was made, or was it not? No, I think it was it got bought by China or something. I don't know.
Bought out by Tencent or something.
Tencent,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
All right. When the walls come tumbling down. These episode titles, I'm not a fan of them actually. Happy Progress Day. That one makes sense. Everybody wants to be my enemy. That doesn't like resonate with. That was the episode. I guess they do play the song in that episode, so I guess that makes sense. And then when these walls come tumbling down, that also is like, I guess it's irony because at the end of the episode, I was gonna say, did I spoil something? No, at the end of the episode. Wait, am I? Wait, what happens at the end of this episode, Kyle?
They tumble down that thingy and it falls on Silco.
Huh? Oh, wait, no, that's not what I was talking about. Let me check the recap.
But imagine
here.
ever using the word tumbling and not thinking of that Evangelion song.
Yeah, there's some songs coming up where I'm like, I wonder if Kyle will know this or not. Like, I'm always like, is this like a famous song that I've just like never heard of?
Yet.
Okay, cool.
They probably are. I'm very checked out of the pop music scene generally.
Okay.
So don't rely on me to notice it. I noticed it Billie Eilish's voice. That's only because, I love and hate her.
Yeah, you're jealous, yeah.
I'm such a uwu fan. Billie Eilish is like Jinx in real life. Oh my god.
In what way?
She's got colored hair and she's so uwu crazy, EliteAri, obviously.
Okay.
She's not really that uwu crazy, but
How do you know you never met her? Maybe
yeah,
she is.
we're like old friends. We were born together. So actually, no, she was born later, and that's a problem, EliteAri.
I understand. All right. So episode 6.
But the only other song thing was that obviously I know the Imagine Dragons song because that was a meme song.
Yep. Well, I think there's some songs coming up where maybe you'll recognize, maybe you won't. I don't know. Victor. Oh yeah, this is the Victor flashback episode. I don't even know that song.
Yes, you do.
Victor is a child who's playing around the polluted waters of the city, and he's making a boat, and his assistant is there. Do you notice that? The girl that was like watching him initially, like on the cliff, whatever the thing.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, that was her. They called her Sky, and I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Oh yeah, she wanted to fuck while the others were fucking, but he didn't fuck.
She did. Yeah, that was great.
That was another thing, like the one tattooed face dude who you notice in the background becomes a character like at the beginning of episode 4, like her being like a kind of cute sidekick scientist or whatever that they have, to the point where you've probably noticed her before. Yeah. And then she comes in and wants to sex, and I was like, oh yeah,
Victor's too busy.
Smart. Yeah, dying and stuff.
Yep. I actually did like I like that we got Victor's backstory. I guess if I was to choose my favorite characters at this point, it'd probably be Jinx and Caitlyn, and then Victor would probably be after that. The rest I don't really care for.
He has that voice, EliteAri.
Yeah, and I don't like Jinx for her character. I guess I just like her I do like her for the reasons you're saying. Like, it is fun to watch her sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway. Victor, yeah, we got that. Oh yeah, then he sees the dragon thing, and it's a rare mutation that he's cultivated. So what do you think's going on with that? Do you think he's like creating the the purple shimmer stuff from that? Do you think he's feeding it or testing it, or like what do you think's going on with that?
Is this not like the old dude that was? Well, I guess it wasn't the old dude. Oh, it could be the old dude that was with Silco in the first few episodes because he's all fucked up now, maybe from the explosion or something. Didn't Silco's shit get exploded?
In episode 3, yeah. And the scientist guy there died, yeah. Well, he didn't die because it is him. Oh my god, Kyle, that's crazy. You figured it out.
Oh, I'm just so smart. I got such a big brain.
See, everyone is connected. Victor was involved in that backstory. Oh my god, it's all tied together.
Yeah, when you got 9 episodes, you got to wrap this shit up somehow. So
Yep. Actually, that's an interesting question, I guess. Do you think this will all be done by the end of I know there's another season coming, but do you think it'll all be resolved, like the relationship stuff and all the character stuff?
Yeah, probably. If they did announce a new season immediately.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a cliffhanger or something, and it did as well as I know it did immediately, they would have been like, season 2's on the way. Attack on Titan would do that after the credits all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's Arcane season 2, and it's about a different set of League of Legends characters in a completely different universe.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be crazy.
All right. We then flash to the present, where Victor is talking with Heimerdinger about legacy, and Heimerdinger tells him that he should be proud of what he's accomplished. And then it's just kind of, I guess one thing is that Victor believes that his contributions are short-lived. That's what I wrote down. But also, I don't like the way this scene ended, where Victor's obviously like a bit depressed and is like, oh, I haven't amounted to anything and I'm dying or whatever. And Heimerdinger just like rubs it in and is like, oh, it's such a shame how those who are the brightest like burn out the quickest or something. I'm like, man, like, why would you end your conversation with your student here who's dying like that? But he felt like it was meant to be something profound, but it definitely wasn't.
Yeah, he just
Then,
said, "Well, now you're dying, bitch."
yeah,
And everybody
classic
said, "My
Heimerdinger.
boy," afterwards, and you just wanted to punch him in the little furry face.
True. He's like a cartoon character, Kyle. Just like Jinx. Oh my god. Turns out Mel is a good painter. And Jace goes to her because he feels like nothing is impossible when he's around her. And then he tells her that,
Boy.
yeah, that was really cool, wasn't it? He tells her that Victor is dying because of the gases when where he was growing up. And then we get the information that Mel was exiled by her family because she fell short of Medardus standards, even though she's still the richest person in all of the Piltover.
I don't see how that's possible. Good one.
Damn,
Soy.
that was a good impression. I felt like I was listening to Jace. Meanwhile, Victor is running experiments. He discovers that their technology responds to
You know,
organic
EliteAri,
matter.
I've got a confession to make.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, after my recent expicades,
Mm-hmm.
what's that word?
I don't know. Out tours, touring. I don't know. Living life. Escapades. Yes.
Escapades, you stupid idiot. Um, I will say I have found myself in watching relationship stuff on screen. My what do you call them? Preferences have changed a little bit, I'll say,
Hmm.
because absolutely I would have killed myself if I had heard that line I just made fun of. What was it? I
I
don't see
can't see
how
how
that's
that's possible.
possible.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I actually said that like recently to a girl, so I can't even like. And I was thinking there, and I was sitting here like a little hypocrite, but I just wanted to confess,
You're
Alita.
so generic,
That didn't
Kyle.
make me cringe as much. And I think generic stuff in romance stuff, I don't think it excites me as much, and it
Hmm.
doesn't make me cringe as much.
Right.
Um,
Is it
but I don't know.
descriptively
Maybe I
real,
should reach
Kyle?
out to Oscar and figure out that I love sex scenes still. Maybe I got to
Hmm.
watch Kristen Cole again. You know.
True.
Um, but I don't know. But
All
yeah,
right.
so I wanted to confess and not be a little hypocrite there, all right?
Well, that was very brave of you, Kyle. Anyway,
You didn't even make fun of the line. I made fun of the line. I was
yeah,
lying.
it was a great impression though. Meanwhile, Victor's
I
running
probably said it a little bit
experiments.
more sarcastically and coolly, Alito, right?
Yeah, it wasn't as cool in the show. Yeah, you're right. Um, Jace has such a something about his voice. He's like this.
Such a
He's like
swing.
every main character of any like male led action thing ever, isn't it? Like it's
Well, not action.
not action. Like the I don't. Yeah, I guess action. Not he's not doing action, but he kind of feels like the main character of like a shonen in a dub or
It's
something. And
so earnestly annoying.
yeah. Anyway,
We hate him.
Victor's running experiments. He discovers that their tech is responding to organic matter, which might be the key to augmenting physiology and curing Victor. They bring in Heimerdinger, who has yet again has another flashback to a city being destroyed, and he says it's too dangerous. Which is kind of like he also says at this point he's like, if you've ever listened to my warnings, listen to it now. It's too dangerous, and it kind of falls a bit flat because it's like you've warned us at every stage of the progress here that like
Yeah, and we've
you
ignored
probably
you
shouldn't
every
be doing
time.
this.
Fuck off, old
Yeah, why
man.
should we listen now? Yeah.
Die.
But anyway, we had another
The
cool
worst part
painting.
is that with how this all plays out, it's definitely gonna like his warning's gonna come true, and Jace is gonna have to go to him in like episode 8 and be like, "I'm sorry, can you please help us?" And he's either gonna go no, and then they'll convince him in the next scene, or he'll go,
Mhm.
"Of course, my boy, I'll help you." And then he'll waddle his little way over there and sacrifice himself, and Jace will learn the lesson that his old professor had to
Yep.
die to stop the magic this time when the dude who saved his mum showed up. But this time he's a bad guy.
Mm. Okay.
What if it was a girl? Now
Who?
that's crazy. The guy that saved him in his
That would
flash.
be crazy, wouldn't it? There's a lot of girls in this show. You could say this is a female lead character show potentially. Isn't
Yeah,
that crazy?
feminism has ruined
Does it
me.
pass the Kyle Entertainment test or whatever?
Oh, the stronger than Bechtel
Yeah.
test. Well, Caitlyn and V don't because they're fucking. I guess if you ever have a sisterhood. Oh, remember? Because in my test I was like, they can't talk about motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Do I disqualify him for sisterhood too? But then there's that big the second in command evil girl that interacts with both the sisters. But they're probably talking about Silco in most of their scenes.
Oh, I have one.
Um,
What about Caitlyn and Grayson, the enforcer, at the beginning of her flashback, or at the end of the flashback, I guess, in modern day?
hmm.
They don't
I
talk
think
about
you just
anything.
passed the test, EliteAri. I
Yeah.
think you're a genius.
Hell yeah. All right.
So disregarding the sister stuff, though I don't know if we are. That
Mm.
makes sense, I guess.
So this is a bastion of progressive storytelling. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, and
So
somehow they had cleavage in it too. It's
yeah,
I'm shocked on all sides.
I wonder if there's a female director, Kyle. I know how much you love female directors. Who
Oh
knows?
no, the sex scene would have been good if that happened.
Okay, cool. Anyway, Heimerdinger freaking out. He's seen cities destroyed by a single seed, is what he says. And they call this thing a hex core now. That's like their thing. It's an adaptive rune matrix. Isn't that crazy? What a cool name. Jinx ties up Savika, and she finds out that Vi's alive and replaced her with a girl enforcer. And then
What
you
is
get
Arcane bridging the rift?
the rift is a summoner's rift. So I'm assuming it's a game, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't know. I just looked up Arcane showrunner. It's this male. And he said he is known for Arcane 2021 and Arcane Bridging the Rift 2022.
It's probably some like spin-off game, I would assume, or like some mobile game or something.
Yeah, looks like it.
All right. Silco, he visited Marcus's house. We talked about that. He threatens the daughter. Meanwhile, Vi and Caitlin go down to the Shimmer infested
it's a
place.
behind the scenes documentary, EliteAri, you idiot.
Oh, great. I should have known. I don't know. I haven't. I've only watched the Corridor Crew episode where they talk about the making of the visual effects and stuff, which is where I got my like, oh, most of the backgrounds are 2D line last episode. That's where I got that from.
Yeah, and then they made an AI art video, and that was disgusting.
True. Kyle was morally outraged. You should have heard him, guys. He was like, I can't believe they ruined my art like this and they're stealing the artist's art and oh, it's terrible.
It has no soul, EliteAri.
Yeah. Anyway, Vi and Caitlin, they're going down to the Shimmer infested place, the most boring storyline in this whole thing, where Vi and Powder used to live. They run into the glasses guy from episode 1. Did you pick that out, Kyle? The guy who was doing the trade.
I did.
Yep, he gives.
I thought it was cool that he ended up selling him out anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So everybody that lives down here is a hideous, ugly monster, except for the 2 cute girls we know, huh?
Well, yeah, this is like a drug den, right? So that probably would be the case. I remember when Caitlin hugged him.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was awesome.
He hated that. That's what made him turn on him.
Sure, yeah. All right, Marcus. More Marcus stuff. Marcus tells Jace that the Firelights are the ones who are doing the attacks, because that's what Silco told him to say. And he also asks if he can help Jace with whatever Caitlin was assigned to do with the prisoner, basically. And then Jace basically says, he like pretends he knew what happened, but clearly Jace wasn't informed. So Caitlin did something
she forged secretly. His signature.
Yeah.
They've got to have a confrontation about that.
Really interesting. The council votes Heimerdinger out of the council, I guess.
Soy.
Yeah,
great.
I have a quote here. Healing this city will take more than just speeches. Humans don't live for centuries. We can't wait for progress. We need a leadership focused on the future, not the past. What do you think about that, Kyle?
Get it? Because he's doing it all just to try and save his friend.
Yeah, yeah, true. Anyway, after Vi recovers from the healing, thanks to the glasses man, Silco is waiting outside. And it turns out the glasses guy sold them out. Excuse me. What did you think when Silco showed up? Did you think this was like, Vi's going to die here?
No, you idiot. I was like, oh, we're already doing this confrontation. That's interesting. Wait, did we skip the Marcus and daughter scene?
Yeah, because we've already said it was bad, right? Yeah.
No, it was kind of cool until
until the end. I also did think it was cool. It's like, oh my god, Silco. I liked how he said that the daughter let him in, and it's like, that's a bit. His daughter's a bit too trusting here. But the shot of like where he opens the door a bit more, and there's like other people behind the door. That was cool framing.
Vi has like a monologue here where she's like, "I'm gonna destroy your shit and everything you done," right?
It's a Silco.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Maybe.
I remember thinking that was kind of soy cool.
All right, cool. I liked how he referred to her as Vander's prodigy, which kind of implied, because I know last time you were asking me like, why is Silco killing these people? And I was like, I don't know if I should say anything here, but in my opinion, it's because he did see her as like the Vander's next like
a threat.
Yeah, like a threat, and he's like, I need to take care of her.
Have we skipped over when? Because I think, doesn't Jinx say fuck in one scene and then Vi says it again? And I was like, oh, we're saying fuck now. That's pretty cool, bro.
I
I
don't
can't remember
remember.
if that was this scene. Where she's like, I'm gonna tear it the fuck down.
I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't. I didn't notice any swearing whatsoever.
Oh,
The
so
only
this is
swearing
not
is when
important
Powder
to you.
was younger. No, the swearing itself I don't think is important. What was being said is probably
Obviously it
important.
is. Oh my
Oh,
God,
that's true. Yeah.
you're such a moron. Because this is Netflix and they're allowed to swear. That's
Do you
crazy.
find swearing to be an academy situation where it's like cringe, or do you like swearing?
Swearing's the best as long as it's good. You know, you'll understand when we watch Black Lagoon.
Right. Okay. Silker says that Vi doesn't
They
know
say
her limits.
retard in Black Lagoon,
Oh, that's
EliteAri, you know?
terrible. How could they say that? I hate
Wait,
that
how
word.
does Revi say it again? I think she says it. Does she say retarded cunt? Is that the line? She says cunt too. It's really cool. She calls Roberta a cunt and says, I'm going to teach this cunt what it's for. That passes the Bechdel test, the Kyle Entertainment test.
No wonder you like the show.
No, the line is, are you retarded? And it's Dutch. Never mind. We don't say that word here at EliteAri.
No, definitely not.
Am I selling
Silker,
you on Black Lagoon?
not at all. No, I hate ableist language like that. God.
Oh.
Silco says that Vi doesn't know her limits, which is what got Vander killed, and it's what drove Powder to Powder away, and it's why Silco is here right now. Maybe that's the line you were talking about, like what she says in response to that. I don't know. She like punches the pillar. Is that what you're talking about? Where she's like,
Maybe.
yeah, it's really really bad. I don't know. I didn't like the punch, but it's okay. The tower
Oh,
collapses, and we get a bunch of montages. So this is like when
Oh, yeah,
the
this is
music is
all
playing
weird.
and oh, I thought you were gonna say this is the greatest thing you've ever seen.
No, because the tower comes down and Silco just gives up and starts screaming.
It
And
was
like,
awesome.
why don't you just chase after him? Or what just happened? Did everybody just get died? How did he not die? I was like,
Well, come
what's
on,
going on
Kyle. There
here?
was a
This isn't a
ring. The
climax.
ring fell down. He landed in the ring, and everything around the ring got crushed. But he was in the nice like
Yeah.
square. It's like if a donut lands on you, you're in the middle of the donut. You're good. But
And
everyone
how
else,
did Vi get away? Like,
they
why
just like
didn't he just
climbed.
start running?
He can't climb. He's
Why
not
didn't he
athletic.
climb?
Yeah, come on. It's Silco. He's like 60 years old or something. He's not that old, but he
He's
is.
pretty cool.
I don't know. I think Vi is probably more physically capable than Silco, so I think they could outrun him. He was only strong because of the people around him, you know. And those people around
Silco's
him
cool.
started attacking him because remember those deformed people? He was like punching them, and that honestly,
Yeah,
that
he was kicking one
that
under the thing.
no, that probably is the coolest directed scene in this whole act, right? It's like Silco, like the intense movement and stuff, and he's punching these people, and it's like blurring and everything, and the camera's zooming out and zooming in. That was really cool.
I was like, this is lame. Why isn't he chasing her? This is stupid.
True. You hate plot conveniences like that, don't you? So, yeah. Anyway, the montages. So there's
I
Jinx.
think that was also another like weird cutting situation that I thought was like.
There was a lot of intercutting here, an absurd amount. There was so many storylines. Like I think every storyline was cutting here, right? Oh no, there was no J stuff. But Jinx is Jinx is lighting the smoke thing from episode 3, which you got to pay off here, Kyle. This is another. I guess this is where all the good directing is. There's the Silco thing, which is really cool. You know, Silco fighting the deformed people, the coolest animation directing. There was also the cool rotating shot with Jinx, where she's holding the smoke, and then you see the adult versions of her two friends, Milo and Clagger. That was kind of cool. Do you remember that?
No.
All right, that's a shame.
They were like back to back with her. I didn't notice that they were the adult versions of them, though.
Well, I just assumed they were because she's taller now and they were her same height, but maybe not. Maybe they are just really tall.
They
back
were
in the day.
always tall, right? And she's just a dumb girl, so she's probably short anyway. Like
That, you know what? That
EliteAri's.
probably is it. You ruined the scene for me, Kyle. I like that scene, but now I'm like, oh god. Vi and Caitlyn, they're escaping. That's also intercut. And there's also the enforcers that are loading their guns to load the checkpoints. So yeah, this is like all these storylines are all being intercut in this one scene. It is a little bit not overwhelming, a little bit what's like a better word for it? You don't get enough of any of it? Or
Overstimulating.
It's not it's definitely not overstimulating.
Too quick.
Yeah, too quick, maybe, yeah, true. But they got to
I know.
time it to the music and everything.
When I was talking about the cutting, I was just talking about like the very beginning bit where the thing falls down, and then I feel like the scene ended when that should have been like the start of the scene.
Right, I understand, Kyle. That's okay.
No, totally.
Then we flash back to the day where Victor left Silco Scientist Guy, and he sees the dragon suffering because the mutation must survive. And at that point,
Is that a dragon?
I don't know what it is. I just called it a dragon. I have no idea.
It's like Squirtle from Pokemon.
Yeah, sure. It's a Pokemon. He had a little Pokemon. He was drugging it, and Maybe it wasn't drugging it. I don't know what it was doing with it, but it was like it was not happy, obviously. And Victor doesn't understand at that point. But then we go to the present day, and Victor shows back up there, and he says, "I understand now." So, what do you think he understands?
That it's got to live or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's something clever going
Going
on
to
there.
become a monster EliteAri.
Okay. So then
I bet if I
Silco,
looked up Victor League of Legends right now, you would be a big monstrosity, dude.
don't do it. You've only got 3
Well,
episodes left, Kyle. And then you
that
can look
means
up
I could
all
get
the
a spoiler
spoilers you
code
want,
now.
all right? As soon as you watch the next 3 episodes. Silco talks to himself in his office and is frustrated at all the problems that Vi has caused him. And then he sees an arrow pointing upwards and he follows the arrow. And did you think he was going to die there, Kyle? Did you think there was going to be a bomb at the top of that arrow?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, he looks up and there's Savika, whatever. She's tied up and it has the word liar like written all over her. And Jinx is obviously not very happy about that.
Oh, was Jinx calling Silco a liar in that scene? Because I don't
Yes.
like that.
Yes, absolutely.
No!
Who else? What do you think it would? Why would she write liar all over her,
I
pointing
thought she
upwards for
meant
Silco
the
to look
girl
up?
was a liar because my sister's obviously not alive, but I'm going to go check anyway because I'm mad and ooh crazy.
Oh, maybe that is it. Wait a minute. Wait, let me think.
If Silco and Jinx break up, then this show's bad.
Wait, what? So okay, now that I'm trying to think, what would it be? Like, why was Silco hiding the Vice stuff from her? I guess he must have been, right?
He was, yeah.
But then
It does make sense from your thingy. By
yeah,
the
I
way.
think it probably is what I'm saying, but I'm not certain. I guess we'll see. We'll see where this goes, but I think it's what I'm saying.
Because Jinx even has a moment, she shoots the thing up and she's not there like instantly, and she like mumbles to herself like, "I knew it was just a something something or something something." She
Yeah.
says.
No, but then she
But
says, "Oh,
then,
Savika was telling the truth when Caitlyn like showed up." Remember?
yeah, she
So
shot.
she's not a liar. Savika's not a liar because she was telling the
Well, I
truth.
think part of the point is that she's like, even though she thinks she's a liar, she's still into check because she kind of secretly hopes because she likes her sister. So it's like a conflict thing. Like
Yeah.
she's being a hypocrite type
So I
thing.
guess it depends on when did Jinx graffiti Savika? Was it before she went to go get Vi, or was it after?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it has to be before.
She was making
right?
an assumption. Yeah, she was making an assumption that she was a liar.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
It's like
logically.
it's seen in every generic thing where like somebody tells them a harsh truth and they go, "You're lying."
Yes. So logically, it should be that Savika is the liar. However, storytelling wise, it is absolutely pointing towards, because it's like the last episode of like the episode, last like scene of the episode. I feel like it has to be Silco the one. No, wait, now I don't even know because there's the.
But they broke up. You're spoiling things for me. I hate
No,
you.
now it's this has nothing to do with what's coming up, right? I don't even remember.
Because at the end of the episode, am I forgetting the end of the episode? Yeah, Vi gets taken away or whatever, so they're separated
is that the
again,
final
so she can
scene?
go. I think so, and then she can go back to Silco for a few more episodes before we reveal that he killed Vander and we turn on him.
Okay,
We're done
so if that's the final scene, it must be Savika who's the liar. Okay, I think we'll see where this goes because I truly don't remember. Anyway, Vi and Jinx, so then we get the final scene, quote unquote. Vi and Jinx, they're reuniting and they hug, and Jinx drops the gemstone, and then she's like, "Are you real?" And did you think that Vi was actually there, or did you think it was a ploy?
Well, it was kind of another situation like the episode 3 scene where it was happening too quickly to the point where I thought maybe it isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think it was just doing it quickly so we could do like a few twists.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So Jinx sees that she's happy. She's like, "Oh my god!" She drops the crystal. She's like, "Oh my god, my sister's here. Or everything is right in the world." And then she sees Caitlyn. She gets like defensive, and Caitlyn at the same time realizes that she's Jinx, and she's like, "Oh my god, your sister's Jinx."
There was a climax. There's finding things
Yeah,
out.
and Kyle's
And
probably
then Jinx
thinking,
is
"Oh
like,
my god, they're gonna fight each other right now because that's what happens." Right, that was my prediction, but no, didn't happen.
I don't know if I was thinking about that while watching it, but whatever, maybe. I liked when Jinx was like talking to people that weren't there, and then they called her out, and she went. That was funny. It was cute. Another uwu Jinx moment.
Say that again. What did you say? What moment?
At some point, she starts responding to Milo or whatever that
Oh,
isn't
okay.
there.
Sorry. Yes,
And
I
Caitlyn
understand. All right.
calls it out, and then it was cute.
Yep.
Dumb Caitlyn bitch, shut up.
Yeah, we like Jinx because she's crazy. We love crazy people, don't we?
Uwu crazy.
True. Uwu, quirky, crazy,
Mm-hmm.
boss girl, whatever. Jinx tells Vi.
Girl boss.
Girl boss, that's the one I was looking for. Jinx tells Vi to stop calling her Powder because Powder fell down a well. What does that mean, Kyle? Is this like a
funny.
Chainsaw Man reference?
One of our cute little sailing. Oh yeah, the frog fell down a well. Remember?
Yeah.
And then the darkness devil showed up.
Yeah, that was crazy. All right.
And then in Naruto, the frog in the well. Jiraiya says that.
Kyle, the greatest line was said by Jinx. Do you know what it is? I don't think you've ever got a single one of the things where I'm like, Kyle, do you want to say what I'm thinking? And you haven't got a single one. All right. Jinx says, "You're a class act, sister. Sister, thought I missed her. Bet you wouldn't miss her." I was like, this is awesome. I like that line a lot. I don't know what it is about it, but yeah, it was great. It's like it doesn't make sense.
Not the worst thing I've ever heard. How is Kylan Statement not screaming right now? But I loved it because she was a cute girl.
That's probably true. Yeah, with like cleavage.
No, side boobs.
Yeah,
small boobs. Side boob is overpowered, better than cleavage.
right.
But also, her hair nearly touches the ground. EliteAri. That's the real.
Oh god, I hate that. All right, then the Firelights attack and they steal the gemstone and they capture Vi and Jinx screams no, and that's the episode ending. Any thoughts on the any thoughts on this whole like Jinx Vi reuniting Firefly?
It was sick. Well, it was kind of a cuckening, you know, they had to fight and stuff, so we can save it for episode 9. Though I'm pretty sure they saw in the episode 8 thumbnail that they're like fighting back to back again, so I don't know, maybe we're saving it for episode 7. What? I couldn't help myself.
Right, sure.
Netflix really should alter its system there, you know.
Yeah, they should know that
I don't think there's
have an algorithm for you and be like, oh, we're not going.
Well, it's probably good because it probably makes people want to watch more. So it's probably very intentionally designed. But what every show I've ever watched on Netflix, I've definitely done that for. So Arcane is not special. I definitely read every You episode and every Mad Men episode because I originally watched Mad Men on fucking Netflix.
Do you like because I know you love to watch the credits. Do you have to like click the screen and press the watch credits to watch the whole thing?
Yes.
That's so funny.
It's trying to tell it comes up skipping the intro. Get the fuck out of my face. What are you doing?
Damn. All right, well.
I will say I don't watch when the credits stop and the Netflix credits start about all the different country languages. So I click off those ones.
Right. Even though that's part of the entire package, you can't just like disregard that. It's part of the artistic expression. Indeed, it is a Netflix show. I just thought of something when you were saying stuff there. I know Miller the Killer said this, but he thinks that every third episode is great because it's like the climax of the act or whatever. Do you agree? Did you think that this like episode 6 was the only like the real good episode, I guess, of this season? Like,
no,
like episode 3
all
was?
Equally good.
Okay, that's good to hear.
I liked them all.
All right.
8 out of 10.
Would you like to be friends with someone who's like Jinx, like quirky like her?
She probably kills people, so or might result in my death, so I don't know.
Right. But isn't she like a really good fighter? She could protect you, Kyle.
Or she'll freak out and accidentally kill me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see, do I have any notes here? Caitlyn.
He's just so uwu crazy.
Powder really is the only good character, is what I wrote here. True. Okay. I have some questions for you.
Uh-huh.
Number 1. Of the storylines, we have 3.
It's the little kid that we haven't seen yet. He's in charge of the fireflies.
Who?
The little
Marcus's. Oh, okay.
No, you idiot.
Little Man.
Is that from the underground too? What was his name?
Little Man, Echo.
Echo.
All right, that's an interesting prediction. We'll see how that goes. Who do you think he is?
Because I was thinking, because I thought it was like Vi's group. Probably way after I should have. And then I was like, like I was like, wait, who? They've got masks on, and there's going to be a reveal with them somehow. And I'm like, but every character, we've got like 3 characters. And then I was like, oh no, that little kid, we haven't seen him since then. He's from the underground, so that's how I figured.
So you think he's what, like one of the skateboard people, or do you think he's
He's
like?
probably leading them.
You think he's a leader? Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Shut up, EliteAri. I'll
So
punch you.
we have 3 storylines: Jinx, Silco, Marcus. All right. Vi, Caitlyn, and Jay's Victor Mel. Which of them do you like the most?
It's a Jinx.
So Jinx, Silco, and Marcus.
Marcus sucks. Who cares about Marcus?
Well, he is in Silco's storyline. Okay, cool. I, yeah, you know what? The only one I don't like is the Vi Caitlyn one. The other 2 are perfectly fine.
Just say you're homophobic, EliteAri. Just say it.
But I love Caitlyn. Caitlyn's the greatest. Remember when she stood in that stool? Oh my god, I love her. Okay, who's your favorite character?
Yeah,
I
when
guess
she
we've
was
already
next
gone
to
over
a
that.
man. Oh,
No, but it wasn't the man; it was the stool. Where, okay, where is the story going? That's my kind of question, my broad question. I guess actually before that, don't
I
answer.
did read
Don't
the
answer.
things, I know. So
Wait, what does that mean?
because they talk about how there's like a war in the climax of episode 9 or something.
Okay, interesting.
So the underground are gonna have the war with the thingy, just like we teased in the very first scene. Crazy. I couldn't have predicted that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The question is now, is there going to be a time skipped for the next act? And if there is, how long is it going to be?
I don't think so.
Not at all. Not even a few
Oh
months.
no, because
or...
we got to figure out how Victor's gonna live. If we just time skip and he's alive, that undermines our tension. So no more time skips.
You don't. Okay. I was gonna say some stuff, but okay. Interesting prediction. Okay. That's literally it, Kyle. I got nothing else. Anything else you want to say about Arcane? Any predictions you want to make? Any like?
I love Arcane. It's the greatest television show in history.
Yeah. What would you give it out of 10 so far? We'll see if it goes up or down.
Well, I don't know. These 3 would get an 8, and those first ones get like a 4. So that's like a 6 out of 10.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
That means it's not as good as Mushoku Tensei yet.
That's probably true. Well, only 1 act left. It could make the series great. It could ruin the series. Let me give a teaser. You know? There's some scenes I remember. You know, I know there's at least 1 good scene. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's less.
Whichever ones EliteAri likes, I will not like. That's just how it goes.
Well, you should make some predictions before you come. Be like, oh yeah, I'm sure Ari loved this scene. I'm sure Ari hated this scene. Don't actually, because it's too much effort. All right.
Yeah.
And with that, when are we coming back, Kyle? When's the next one?
Probably pretty soon.
All right, pretty soon. See you then.